I think we are live. If you can hear me and if I sound all right, hit that 1. Man, already at 5 likes. Fantastic. Fantastic. Again, if you hear me and if I sound good, hit that 1. Austin, fantastic. How's your day going, Austin? Wes, how are you doing, Wes? All right, I think we're maybe a couple more people just to make sure. Again, if you hear me and I sound good, hit that 1. Confident I do, but just to make sure, if a couple more of you could give me that 1, just so I can have full peace of mind. Hey, me, good morning with the 1. All right, excellent, excellent. All right, NYC Metro Rides, Randy, Elias, very good, very good. Thank you for that feedback. As always, very much appreciated. Knocking on the door of this trend line right here. Quite the recovery. This was a pretty rough move. Had a nice pattern here, broke down, took out all those, well, I should say, took out the discipline longs that were trying to play this upwards trend, took them all out in this area, and then whoop, back up it went. So if you were any sort of long that got taken out by this, I mean, it happens. That is just a rough move for it to come down, take out all those people, and then to head right back up. So, uh-oh. Is this thing on? The stream's bit rate is lower than recommended. Well, what does that mean? Are people still here? Can they still hear me? Been back. Okay, well, it seems to be back. I don't know what the stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended. I don't know what to do about that. Does everything still look okay to people? Everything is fine. Thank you, Mad Mayhem. I'm clearly not a tech person. Still good. I guess to be fair, it is just a warning, but I don't know how I'm supposed to fix the bit rates. All right, well, we'll keep going then. So anyways, like I was saying, if you we're long, bullish, even on this pullback here, bullish, looking for it to maybe come back up here. I get it. That move right there, I'm assuming took you out, and then for it to go back up, you're maybe on tilt watch right now. So just be careful for any of you out there that are maybe on tilt watch. Don't go on tilt. You'll regret it. You'll regret it. But if you do insist on going on tilt, and assuming you're in the world of futures, just go to 1 MNQ. 1 MNQ. Go on tilt with 1 MNQ. Well, for those of you that are here, and if you've been here before, and you know you're going to enjoy, friendly reminder, hit that like button. Let's get this up to 100 likes so that we can just get that monkey off our back. If you've never been here before, welcome. It's great to have you. No need to hit the like button because I realize you've never been here, so you have no idea if you're going to like. But if you know that you are, make sure you hit that like button. Open widget. Stream status. Good connection. All right. Well, good connection is still better than nothing. All right. There we go. All right. There. Okay. Now at least the warning message has gone away. Is there, so for any of you tech people out there, is there a way that I can increase the bit rate? Or is that just, am I at the mercy of my my internet provider? Or is there something I can do, or is that like a setting? Well, it's right at this level. Question right now, just can it get separation? So if you're playing this break, Hey, Frank. Will it go? Did anybody buy this breakout? I didn't quite have the heart to do it. After seeing this chop action, in my mind, it's like, okay, is this thing, are we about to enter just a savage choppy action where we had this move down, took out all the longs, this move up, took out all the shorts, and is this now suckering people in on the trend line break to then just take all them out? Maybe not. Maybe this is a genuine breakup. Like I said, that's why I don't necessarily have the heart to take it, because I'm not quite sure if. Can somebody hit the one in the chat box? I'm getting like no interaction. I have a warning message, so I don't even know if I'm online right now. Like, are people still here? Can you hear me? Okay, all right. People are just not. Gotcha. All right. People went silent at a very current paranoid state. So everything looks fine. The screen looks clear. People can hear me. Your CPU bandwidth might be getting clogged up. I don't. What would be tying up my bandwidth? I don't think I have anything out of the extraordinary running right now. Even my OBS is 1 second delay. I've never seen that before. I don't know why it's a 1 second delay. All right. Well, I will officially just not worry about it. Everybody says the screen still looks clear, everything like that. So, okay. So yeah. Still just a wait and see to see if this wants to separate to the upside. Yeah, it looks fine to mine. Okay, good. All right. Appreciate the feedback, and we'll just roll with it and just keep on grinding. What's the ES looking like right now? So ES, nice little bull pennant here on the ES also. Are those SMA lines? What time periods you use? I really need to do a video. Captain Oblivious, man. I'm pretty sure haven't you asked that before, man? Or am I confusing you with somebody else? The pink line is the 200 period simple moving average. The purple line is the 50 period simple moving average. The dotted yellow line is the VWAP. The green line right there is the 21 exponential moving average. So those are the lines that you're seeing. It just does not, just putzing around up around here. Again, if you bought this trend line break, I wouldn't say the chart's done anything wrong. The only thing that's really done wrong in your world right now is just hasn't really gotten any sort of follow through. But it's not like it broke and crashed or anything like that. So definitely some patience right now, just kind of seeing what it wants to ultimately do with this trend line here. So we'll kind of have to wait and see on that one. Hey, nice. Already up to 22 likes. Very good. Very good. For those of you that are maybe new, Euro USD. What are you asking? But for those of you that are maybe new, the stream will go for at least 2 hours. But then after that, I gauge it based on interest. And then I gauge interest based on likes and super chats. So at the 2 hour mark, if we have 100 likes, then I carry it beyond the 2 hour mark. So we still have plenty of time to get to 100 likes. I'm just saying that's kind of how things work around here if you are new. So if you are enjoying and you want to help ensure that the party continues beyond that 2 hour mark, then hit that like button. What do you think about the MACD? I mean, if you can make it work, that's fine. I think some people think it's more of a magical indicator than what it is. I think some people show up and they're like, I'm just going to buy the MACD crossover. It's like, I hear you. I wish I could say trading was that easy, but it's going to take a little bit more than just waiting for the MACD indicator to cross over. So I don't have anything against the MACD. I would just say especially with beginner traders, there's a very big threat that the MACD is some sort of magical, mystical indicator when it's actually not. No, I'll. The rule being here, if you want an analysis on something, $5 super chat. But as of right now, no, I'm not going to go just hop off to something else because I'm potentially looking to trade too. Are you Luigi? Luigi, are you day trading the Euro USD? Please don't tell me you're a day trader of Forex. Please don't tell me that's what you're doing with your life. Because that's a very inefficient way to go about day trading. To day trade Forex, oh boy. Come on now. Come on now. There's better ways to go about day trading. I wonder if bots play the numbers to flush out the stop losses. No. Nobody's hunting your stop losses. There are no bots at work because bots would require capital and immense amounts of capital to move the markets. There you go. Well, congratulations to anybody that played that breakout and had the patience. As I was just talking about, it never did anything wrong breaking. It's not like it broke and then had any sort of massive flushes. It just required patience. So for any of you that did take that, big congratulations right now. You are getting paid, and you're getting paid for that patience. Stochastics is pretty good when it is used with a resistance line. Yeah, no, stochastics. Some people love those. It's smart money. I'm not sure what it's in reference to. Hey, Kevin from Lakeland, Florida. Good to see you. Sometimes I jump between regular internet and the 5G to switch up connection. Zombie driver. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. All indicators work some of the time. No indicators work all the time. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the ultimate price indicator is their ultimate indicator itself is price action itself. And I think candlesticks are my favorite indicator because they measure price, but they measure price in 4 different ways, right? The open, high, low, and close of whatever time period. 3 touch on the trend line is my rule for breakout confirmation. Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard of the 3 touch rule before. Do what works for you. I mean, no guarantees, as I'll say a million times on the live stream, but if you have a target up here at the highs, at this point, that seems like you're being very reasonable. Now, what it does at these highs, I don't know. Are we going to be looking at a double top? Will it continue on up? We'll have to see. But yeah, if you're thinking you're not, you bought the trend line break, but you're not pulling out any profits or anything until the price gets up there, I can see that. Hopefully, you've at least moved up your stop loss to break even at this point. But yeah, I hear ya. Again, no guarantees that it retests those highs, but there we go. There's a retest of them. And then pushing up through. Hey, Curls. Good to see you. Good to see you. ES also got the nice breakout. So classic bull pennant. If you were here earlier, you saw me draw that in. Something very close to that. So for those of you ES traders out there, congratulations any of you that bought that breakout. You're getting paid. I don't really trade the ES though. I'm also pretty comfortable with where I'm at on the day. That I'll still take some trades, but as we enter in now the afternoon, not the afternoon, but late morning, early afternoon, where I'm self-admittedly not the best trader. I'm going to be scaling things down here a little bit as I'm not willing to. I'm okay if this day doesn't close as green as it is right now. So I'm okay if it drops down some, but I also am not looking to give back like a huge chunk or a majority of it or anything like that. But yeah, I'm still looking to potentially take some trades. Oh, Luigi disappeared. He didn't want to tell me why he's day trading Forex. Come on, Luigi. I'm scared for you anyways, Luigi. Why do you want my analysis, huh? You don't want to do your own. That's a red flag. If you're out there trading, you need to ask somebody else to do an analysis on something. That has me worried. To be fair to Luigi, maybe he's just paper trading. Maybe it's a total demo account. But if it's not Luigi, I don't think he's even still here. But for any of you that are still here using real money and then needing to go around and ask for other people's analysis on something, I would suggest that that's maybe a red flag on your part. That maybe you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself. Man, rough move. As I was telling people earlier, If you are kind of having a rough morning, how is everybody's day going so far, though? Now that we're getting more people, if you are someone that's like, I'm right on the day, I went long during this area, or, maybe I went long right there because I was, looking at this nice little, kind of pullback within an overall uptrend. You had the higher lows. Like, I get it. I completely see how you'd have been bullish right around here. But then this movement right here, just cruel and unusual punishment to the longs. I should say to the disciplined longs. Now, if you were a long and you played and you're up here and then you made money, yeah, that congratulations on just getting a bad habit reinforced, because that means you sat through this big old movement down, which on all time frames suggested, yeah, you better be getting out, and you just flat out got lucky. So any long that was in here, and if you ended up still making money because you didn't stop out down here because you held and hoped, yeah, in that situation it worked. But one of those times it's not going to work, and it's going to be game over. But point being, for the disciplined longs, yeah, rough. Can see you getting stopped out in this area right here, and then to have it just boop back up, brutal. So some of you very well may be on tilt alert right now, so just be aware of that. First time here, trying to interact. Thank you, Zombie Driver. Yeah, I'm just not sure what you're talking about. When I wasn't sure the relevance of you jumping between the 5G to switch up the connection. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't really know why you're bringing that up or what that was in relevance to. Axel 99. Hello, new here. Good to have you, Axel. Those red candles took me out, unfortunately. These ones right here, Axel. Down in that area, took you out from the long side. Been trading YM instead of NQ lately. I like it. Up 1900. Nice job. Yeah, some people really like the YM, Dave. Some people really do. Curls, you were totally here when I answered that for that. Oh, no wonder why live streamers just lose your minds. That's hilarious. Yeah. Captain Obliv... okay, all right. To be fair to Curls, he probably showed up afterwards. Okay, I'm going to go through this again. Pink line, 200 period simple moving average. Purple line, 50 period simple moving average. Dotted yellow line, the VWAP. Green line there, the 21 EMA. There we go. Somebody already asked that, Curls, and I could have sworn you were around when they asked that. But I scrolled back in the chat, and yeah, you showed up after they had asked that, and I answered it. So that's my now second time. Well, I don't know. We'll see how many times I answer that question. Lober, hello. Alex, yes, I should have put my stop lower than the support, but all good. I don't know, Axel. I think I disagree with you just because it's easy in hindsight to know where you should have put your stop loss, but that's in hindsight, right? We all were like, oh, I could have, should have done this, and this when hindsight. Axel, but props to you for using a stop loss, and that's what I was saying earlier. I totally get it. Like, that movement there was just nasty. So sure, of course, in hindsight, it's like, well, well, there was a low right there, and so I should have used that low, and I should have been a little bit below it. And look, I would have kept it. It's like, okay, yeah, cool story now with hindsight, but at the same time, you got to acknowledge it. We're all fantastic traders. We're all flawless traders when we have hindsight in our favor. So Axel, I would say I totally understand how that took you out. It happens. All I can really say to you is good job for managing risk. Lober Dober, hello, or Laber Dauber, however you're supposed to say your name. I always do a 5-point stop loss. Sometimes it bites me, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Got to kind of just find your system, find what works for you. Day going 50-50, but confidence is growing. Good, Emmy. Zombie Driver. If you're still here, I'm curious what your 5G connection switching back and forth, why you brought that up. Like, that was intriguing. I just didn't know how to exactly take that. But yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this line here. I think it served its purpose. It did push up through those highs. Is this about to be one of these slow, methodical grinds where, an hour from now, I'm going to be saying, man, why don't we just buy it? Why don't we just go long right there? Laber Dauber. Locked up. You were delayed on mine. Well, yeah, there's a natural delay on the live stream. All right, almost at 50 likes. Very good, very good. Kid Poker, good morning. Kid Poker 007. I might be interested in a little bit of. Whoop, let's get off of NQ for now. Might be interested in a short here because I'd have about 20 points. If this is some sort of top right here forming around here. Yeah, not the yeah, I can go. I'll go with 2. In. See if this is some sort of top forming, but as of now, looking like I might have gotten suckered in. So I could be out for a scalp, but I'm looking for a little bit more than a scalp. As you saw there, that dropped nicely into the profit territory. But I'm looking for a little bit more than a scalp on this one. I'd like to see if I can capture some sort of rollover here. So this may be a situation where I'll look back and say, I should have scalped. Because would have been totally fine with the scalping method. But I'm choosing not to scalp on this one. And we'll see if that proves to be a wise decision or not. Hindsight will have to be our judge. But yes, as of now, I'm thinking I should have scalped that, Clay. Should have scalped it. But let's see if it wants to come down. Like the stream. Yes, Curls, like. I guess we wait for a pull. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, whoa, whoa. All right, I'm just going to hop out. Was there new... No? Was that news or something? I turned my back to read and I looked back and I got scared to the point was that thing about to just snap against me? Well, I'm glad I did not scalp there. In hindsight, though, I guess I should have probably thrown out another one down there and I would have captured that on the spike down. Wow, that was interesting. All right, well, starting off the stream with a winner. I'll take it. I'll take it. Sorry, I will try to watch you another time. Okay, it must be something on your end, Zombie Driver. Everybody else says, seems to be maybe a double top. We'll see if it wants to go back up, but there we go. There we go. Had very minimal risk. Yeah. In hindsight, I should have just probably kept my stop loss up here and try to move it down. But like I said, that was such a fast spike. I didn't know if I was about to get a fast spike back against me. Because yeah, I mean, that was a random time though. I mean, you see the volume bar right here. Volume really came surging in, so I'm not sure what was producing that, but I don't know. Now, all of this sudden, does this become a buy up here? Quite the recovery. But that got spicy in a hurry. So over there, wait, but you only made $34 and all that? Well, again, as I've said, and I know I'm repeating myself, but there's a constant stream of new people. I over my years of trading, I'm definitely way better in the morning. And now that I've gotten kind of into this live streaming thing over the past few months, I've kind of turned myself into a late morning, early afternoon trader, which is not always my strongest suit. And so you just have to acknowledge that. You got to acknowledge, you got to know where you kind of are better and other times. So I'm still willing to trade, but I factor in the fact that I'm not the greatest trader in these sorts of times, but just my position size and, the types of contracts I'm trading. U.S. lowering Japanese tariff. Ah, gotcha. Well, why'd that have caused it to go down at first? That's weird. Clay, I'm still new with Tradeovate, so like in your profit and you want to put a trailing loss, how do you do it? ATM orders up here, right here, ATM, right there. If you click on that, they give you a bunch of stuff, including stop loss. Or stop loss type, if you click on that, they got all sorts of. There's the trail stop limit, auto trail. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. But again, that's in the ATM part of the platform. Man, you made $30 a trade up. Man, you made Man, you make 30 bucks a trade up 12. I'm not sure what you're saying, BK Dot, especially after I just explained all that. I'm not real sure what you're getting at there. So here's a little miniature rant. One thing that I don't know how it started, but like there's this idea. Like some of you are gonna like look at me and just scoff when I say, you know, punctuation still matters. You're like, no, Clay, because it's online. No, Clay, not online. It doesn't. It's social media. It's a YouTube chat box. No, what are you, some sort of why are you talking about grammar? Or why grammar, punctuation. That was the word I was looking for. Like, I get it, but I'm telling you, punctuation makes a big difference because I don't know what BK Dot is saying because it's literally just one run-on sentence. Man, you make 30 bucks a trade, up $1,200 on the day. I don't know what, like I said. So I know some of you just think I'm like the oldest man ever. But I don't know where that came from. Like somehow because it's online, like grammar just totally should go away. I don't know. I think a comma is good for the soul every now and then. I think a period, it's good. It's good. It's productive. It promotes efficiency. Commas and periods. No, I'm not saying like, well, technically that should have, you used a semicolon. That should have been a colon. Okay. I will fully agree. It doesn't need to go that far on the spectrum. But like just zero punctuation, I would also suggest that that's maybe too far the other way. Same with like zero periods or commas. I think it helps. But that's just my, I guess, old man rant. I don't know where that came from, but that's where I stand on it. Maybe it's just the former engineer in me that was drilled into my mind. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. I'm just looking for efficiency of chats and understandings, and that way. Well, and then, and BK Dot. No wonder why nobody can understand him. He doesn't think punctuation's needed. So that makes a lot of sense, BK Dot. That makes sense why. It's funny. Like, literally, I don't know if BK Dot's a troll or not. I've been trying to figure it out for like the past couple months because he's been on the live stream. But I think it's just because like he doesn't use punctuation. So sometimes I'm like, is this guy trolling? Like, what's going on? But I literally don't know what he's saying because it's just like run-on sentences. Hey, we're almost at 50 likes. I like it. I like it. If you have not hit that like button, do that. Right off the 21 EMA again. There are no holy grail indicators, but I like the 21. I think it's worth at least keeping an eye on. Another good example of that right here. Again, no holy grail. Not going to always work, but good little example. What's the ES up to right now? Same thing. Look at that. Right off the 21 EMA. Look at all this right here. Just was cruising right above it. Right above it. Again, I'm not saying that's the holy grail, that if you start using it, you're going to make millions of dollars, but I am saying, hey, it might be worth giving it a try. All right, 51. That might be a new record. Most likes in under 30 minutes. I'm not sure yet. On Friday, just record crushing from all angles. We had concurrent new record 197. We had like over 250 likes, I think. Friday's crowd was absolutely crushing it. So we'll see if we can put something like that together here. But yeah, Friday was fantastic. All right, we are officially getting a bit of a pullback here. So we'll throw that line in there. And that line right there. And if you want to get, what in the, come on now. What was up with that? So overall bull pennant pattern right here. Could be interested in taking that. We'll see. We'll see if it wants to come back up and maybe try to make a push up through the upside to come up here and get the break. Will that promote a break to the upside? I don't know. Undecided, but we'll see how it continues to play out here. Good. Well, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only person that is on team at least comma and period punctuation. Like I said, I would never because I mean, to be quite frank, I don't know when I'm supposed to use a semicolon and when I'm supposed to use a colon. I don't know that. I get those ones confused. But a comma, it helps. It helps. I'm on team comma. Are you watching only the 2-minute chart, or are you correlating them with higher time? Yeah, Cyrus, good question, fair question. When I kind of turn my head, I'm working with 3 monitors, so over here I have other time frames. So yes, I am not. We are just observing things on the 2-minute, but I am indeed watching other time frames. Good question. Good question. So once again, just kind of waiting to see if this thing wants to make a break or not. Definitely a quote-unquote slower day. Oh, yeah, I use a 5-minute. I use a couple other ones, but 5-minute and 2-minute are kind of the two linchpin ones that I'm using. Again, 2-minute and 5-minute. I use some other ones, but I don't really talk too much about those just because then people are like, oh, I'm going to go. It's like, no, you got to experiment. You got to figure out what works for you. Too many people just want to, copy others, and it's like, no, beyond a certain point, you got to figure out what works for you. So, well, Clay, define beyond the certain point. Beyond the 5-minute, and even under the 5-minute. I would argue everybody should use the 5-minute, just because most people, I think, let me put it this way. I've never met a trader that doesn't use the 5-minute. So that tells me a lot of people use it, and when a lot of people are using the same time frame, it can create self-fulfilling prophecies in and of itself. Same with the 50 period and the 200 period. The only magical thing about them is it seems they're kind of like the blue chips. They're just the staples. They're like the beans and rice of the technical analysis world. So when enough people are using the same levels or using the same moving averages, watching the same moving averages, it can create those self-fulfilling prophecies. Rams, can I copy you? If you want to lose money, sure. If you think you're going to make money copying me, you wrong. You are not me. I am not you. If you think trading is as easy as just copying somebody else, you're going to learn that you're going to learn that a hard way. That's not how it works. So, I mean, yeah, can you copy me? Yes, you are able to copy me. Should you copy me? No. Should you copy anybody? No. But can you copy me? Can you copy anybody? Yeah, sure, go for it. But should you? No. I'm with you. I wish trading was as easy as just finding some guru, finding somebody that posts a lot of big gains, and then just be like, all right, I'm going to copy everything you do. If only it were that easy. But it's not. It's not. It'd be nice, though. It'd be nice if it were that way. All right, come in. I don't know. Maybe I should be buying. I guess I could. Yeah. Could you buy the bottom of this trend line, stop below the purple line there, 50 period moving average? Yeah. I'm going to think on that one. I would not call you crazy if you're trying to just play the bounce off the trend line for the breakout. You have a well-defined stop right there, 50 period moving average. So I'm going to watch that. We'll see if it wants to, well, now it's heading back up. So what would be nice, though, is if we can get some more candles. Let me cook. And if this thing comes up some more, because this is the moving average, so it's going to keep on moving. And if it goes like right there. And then there's going to be a moment in time where the trend line and the moving average are going to be basically at the same value. So like right there, that would be a spicy buy. Great answer, thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being open-minded to hear it. Some people don't want to hear the truth. They want to be told what they want to hear. Sure. And now, I mean, from a business standpoint, well, yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of people follow my signals. Follow this, follow that. I'll give you, this. And basically, they're not saying necessarily copy me, but that's the attitude they're promoting. Just copy me. Copy my strategy. Like I sell a strategy. I sell this. I sell a system. I sell an indicator. I sell translation. Just copy me. Translation from a seller psychology standpoint. People want to put in the less work possible, which is fine. I mean, we do, and which is good, right? I would argue we should all strive to work smarter, not harder. But you don't want to swing too far on that spectrum where like you don't think you have to work at all and you can just copy somebody. But from like a sales pitch standpoint, it does sound really good if you're, implying that, yeah, you don't have to do anything. You can just copy me and we are at the top of the pattern. Well, as I was explaining, I was hoping for more of a, trying to play it off the bottom of the trend line, but all the way back up. So is that the key break? I'm not taking it though. You can't handle the truth. Did anybody buy the breakout there? Again, I'm not calling you crazy. I see the logic. I just was not what I was looking for. I wanted more of that pullback. I wanted a bit more of a pullback, but we'll let hindsight be the judge on whether or not that was a very stupid decision or a smart decision. What do we got going on with the ES right now? Ooh, ES is, look at that, just respecting that 21 EMA so beautifully. So beautifully like my face. Anyone here take that break? You're in, Frank? Frank says, here we go. I think Frank's in. Come on, Frank. Frank the Tank, let's go. Come on, Frank. Do you think 15-minute Orbi is a good strategy? No. Because, again, I really wish that trading was as easy as waiting for XYZ time period to go by. In your situation, wait for 15 minutes to go by, map out the high and the low, and then you just buy the breakout or you short the breakdown and you're going to be good. If only trading were that easy. Now, is it something that you could start with? Is it something you could build from? Yeah, absolutely. But as a beginner, if you think that's like all trading is, that trading is as easy as, again, in your situation, the 15-minute. Wait for 15 minutes to go by. Be like, all right, let's wait for 15 minutes. Okay, there's our high. There's our low. Okay, now all I got to do is I got to buy if it goes up through, or if it goes down through, I got to short. And again, this is in this situation, the 15-minute. You let 15 minutes go by, map out those areas, and that's what you do. If only it were that easy. Once again, to reiterate, is there a framework there that you could build from? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm not denying that. But if you show up and you think that that's all you have to do, I'm sorry to rain on your parade, but trading is going to require a little bit more out of you than simply waiting for 15 minutes to go by, mapping out highs and lows, and then just waiting and buying. It's going to require a little bit more than that. If we're only that easy, success rates would be a bit higher. But to clarify, because I know sometimes people have selective hearing, I'm not saying it's totally worthless. If you're going to use that as a framework to build from, all right. But that is much different than having that literally be all you look at are those things. I'm like, okay, good. So if that's all you're doing is how I described it, Dame's Trades, then no, it's not a good strategy. And that has nothing to do with whether you're a beginner or not. It's just simply not a good strategy. That's too simple. Now, you don't have to go and create a rocket science strategy either, but like everything, you got extremes on both ends. So, swinging one way of being too simple would be that, how I described it. On the other end, if you got 18 different moving averages and 37 indicators and, 14 different VWAPs and you got the, and all, it's like at some point I would argue you go to the other direction where it's like, I'm not quite sure it needs to be that complicated. Does that make sense? Good question. Hopefully that makes sense. Well, congratulations to anybody that bought that breakout. Hindsight judged me as having chosen, he chose poorly. Name the movie. Name the movie. Again, he chose poorly. There's a movie trivia for the day. Oh, wow. Judd straight up, nah, he's like, I'm skipping over the franchise name. I'm going to name the actual movie. Judd's not messing around. Don't even try to go against Judd when it comes to movie quotes. Don't even try it. Hey, Mammon, good to see ya. You get acceptable, but Judd kind of just one-upped you. So, like, he makes your answer. Same with Bruce. Judd just made Mammon's and Bruce's answer look kind of, like, not impressive. But you guys are still right. I would have taken that anyways, but Judd just upped the game too much. All right. Thinking about potentially trying to play the back. Where do I put my stop, though? If I'm in here, it's got to be... I don't know. I don't know if I like that or not. Hey, if you are enjoying, hit that like button. For those of you that are new, I will go for 2 hours. And then after that, I just gauge it based on are people still interested. And I gauge interest via likes and super chats. So at the 2 hour mark, if we have 100 likes, then you know what, we need to change this now because we're getting bigger odds. I'm going to move that up to 110 likes. So if we have 110 likes by the 2 hour mark, then I'll keep the party going. Because like I said, that's the only way I know how to gauge interest. So I'm going for at least 2 hours, but I'll keep the stream going. Last week we had a couple almost 4 hour streams because, the likes just kept going up and up. So, hey, people must still be interested. So like I said, if you are enjoying and if you are interested, then like I said, the quickest way to communicate that to me is through that like button. Clay, back to stealing investors' money. Stock traders like this are just stealing people's money. That's interesting. It's interesting for multiple reasons. One, I'm not trading stocks. This would be futures. And I'm not sure how I'm stealing money right now. Even if I were to concede, okay, this is a stock, I'm not quite sure how I'm stealing money. So that's interesting. Is Tim, are you one of the old school? Now, in Tim's defense, there's, some crazy conspiracy theories from back in the day of the message boards. Tim may be one of those people. Like, Tim, do you think, where do you fall in the Clay trader conspiracy spectrum? Do you think I have like a penny stock shorting hedge fund and we conspire to short people's prices down? Do you think I just have magical powers to post a video chart and then that causes things to go down? Like, where do you stand on the spectrum? It does make sense. It's like me flirting with a stranger woman and being creepy at the same time by pointing at my man. When you reach that point, you've been going. Yep. How's your day, Clay? Anything food? I think anything good. Yeah, I'm happy with my day so far. Wicked. Not sure if this was asked before, but are you not interested in trading BTC? Well, what kind of trading, Wicked? Day trading or swing trading? I submit that day trading, if you're day trading stocks, options, Forex, or crypto, you're wasting your time. You're being inefficient. You're taking on too much risk. Or in other words, you're working harder, not smarter. So please don't say, well, Clay, I'm a stock trader and I make money. Or a stock day trader and I make money. Or I'm an options day trader and I make money. Again, the claim is not that you can't make money. I'm just claiming that there is a better way that is more efficient and that allows you to operate in a more risk-wise way. Not to mention, if you are somebody here and you're in the world of stocks or options and you want to be a day trader, but you're kind of having a swing trade because of that pattern day trading rule, so sometimes you have to hold on to trades overnight because you don't want to burn a day trade. If that's you, please let me know because I have a solution that can turn you into a day trader instantly. And all you need is $105. And you could be day trading as much as you want every single day with good, solid risk protection. And you could be in a market that moves and moves quite quickly. But no. So in other words, Wicked, if you're asking me, do I day trade Bitcoin? Absolutely not. That's a total waste of time, capital. It's an inefficient way to go about it. And it's quite frankly, you're taking on too much risk because you're having to use all your own money to do that. And I say, hey, you know what? I'd rather not be using my money if I decide to go on tilt or if I get stuck in a crazy move or something like that. Oh, I was hoping Tim was going to interact, but to be fair, we really don't. I think I don't have any stats to back this up, but I think we have a pretty good like quality interaction to troll interaction. We're probably for every, 15 interactions I don't even know. It might even be more. But then we'll have somebody like Tim. He went back to iHub. Yeah. I do post a link on iHub, so Tim is probably right off of iHub. That would not surprise me. Did you take a trade today to make the 12.15, or is that... I took this one. This was on stream. So yes, I have taken a trade today. Can you tell me more about the pattern day trader rule? The one... What do you what do you mean 115? But in general, if you are a stock, so I mean, the rule creates an oxymoron. If you want to be a stock day trader or an options day trader, you literally can't, because in my opinion, a day trader is somebody that by definition can day trade well as often as they want. A day trade being you buy and sell something in the same day. And in the world of stocks and options, you need to have... Oh, okay. You need to have $25,000 in order to do that. And if you don't, then you fall under something called the pattern day trading rule. And the pattern day trading rule states that you only get 3 day trades. Again, a day trade being counted as something where you buy and sell in the same day. But you're only allowed to do that 3 times every 5 days, which is nuts. Which why I say you can't, the pattern day trading rule prevents you from actually being a day trader. Because I'm sorry, you just can't be a day trader if you're only allowed to make 3 day trades every 5 days. But that is why I recommend, so if you're in that camp, AB, then that's why I recommend around here we call it Pam's Plant, which is an argument for day trading, which says to day trade futures through a prop firm. Why futures? Well, on this topic, the pattern day trader rule, well, in the world of futures, there is none. So you can make as many day trades as you want every single day. And then I mentioned how you could get started for just $105. That's where it's day trading futures through a prop firm. And the one part of the prop firm is the low capital required. So just with the way prop firms work, I'll bring it over real quick just to illustrate where the 105 is coming from. If you do use the code that's up on the top on this side here, then you could get $25,000 of purchasing power for $105. And then just the way a prop firm works is you pass a test. So you got to show them that you can trade. You go from a test into the pro account, and then the pro account here is when you start to make money. You get to keep that money. Well, you get to keep 80% of it. So that's a very broad nutshell explanation of prop firms and how they work. But yes, that is how you could become a day trader for $105. That's it. All you need is $105, and you could be day trading. And when I say day trading in the world of futures, because there's no rule, you could make 100 day trades every 10 minutes, and it wouldn't make any difference. Now, your commissions would be getting racked up, which is... But hey, if you're making 100 profitable trades, you can sit there and do it over and over and over again. Does that go for options as well? Yes, yeah. Well, options day trading is just completely terrible. I mean, it's really bad. It's like one of the dumbest things you can do. That can be mathematically proven. Well, I make money day trading options, Clay. That's super impressive, and you would be making way more in futures. And I can show you exactly why that's the case, because you are certainly working harder, not smarter. So if you can make money, if you are making money as a day trader of options, that doesn't defeat the purpose, because my argument is not that you can't make money in those other avenues. It's just that you are being inefficient. You are working harder, not smarter, because somebody that can make money day trading options, you would be crushing it. You would be doing very well in futures. I passed 2 more tests on Friday. Didn't see a credit for the activation fee. Both do the... yeah, you'd want to reach out to them. You should have a credit. What do you think about... I don't know. I have no thoughts. Yeah, I don't... I've heard of them, but I don't know how they work. I don't have anything, so... I'm not going to say they're garbage, because I don't know. But I have no experience with them. I do not use them, so... I don't know. Can't really comment. Well, nice breakout there. That whole thing is essentially failing now. Going to get rid of that. Yeah, let's get rid of that. That served its purpose for now. Interesting pullback here to right around the 2075 mark. So right around here, I could see myself interested in buying along. Whoa, I got to get off NQ. I got to get off NQ. I'm done with NQ for the day. Yeah, I was actually talking with Take Profit Trader because I had a couple people from my community, from the private community, reach out to them looking like, hey, I know you guys are you still hiring? Because I know you said you're kind of getting, you were getting overwhelmed because you're growing too quickly. Yeah, so I was talking to the one person there, because I'm not trying to come across like I have any sort of it's not like I can call up the CEO or anything like that. But I do enough. So for all of you that have used code Clay, thank you very much. But yeah, I kind of have a little bit where I can, email somebody and they can kind of give me updates on things. But they are no longer hiring. They said all positions have been filled, but now they're just in the phase of needing to train people and catch them up to how things work. So I am expecting that Take Profit Trader over the next few weeks will definitely continue to get faster and faster as they train those new people in the positions that have been filled. And I just missed that. Shoot. Look at that. Right off of that tread line. We'll see if it wants to go back down there. If anything, let's just do this. And I'll put my stop down there. There we go. There we go. So looking to get long at that green line. And then we'll see if it wants to come back up. Hello, Clay. For each pro account, I have to pass a new test. Correct. Yep. Man, why? Okay. You got to be more specific than that. Why? You're going to need to be a little bit more specific than that. Adjusted my entry down a little bit. Let's just look to play a double bottom now. Double bottom off that candle should also be a back test of that trend line. Why do I want to get long at the green line? Because I think it makes sense. Because in my mind, it makes sense. I think I have an edge down there. Keyword being I think. I don't know. That's why I got a stop loss in. I am in. Let's see if we can get nice little scalpy scalp. I'll take it. So there's the next trade. Just a little bit of a scalp. Again, why am I doing small size? Two reasons. One, I'm already nicely green on the day. Two, I'm not the greatest late morning, early afternoon trader. So why are you trading? Well, kind of an unintended consequence of this live stream stuff, which I am having fun and enjoying doing. So I'm just factoring in. I'm not going to lie to myself and make myself, oh yeah, no, you're great. So you just keep going huge size. No. I know my strengths and weaknesses. Whoa, I'm in. Oh, I didn't do my stop. I didn't cancel my stop loss. All right, so I'm short right now. Why don't you tell me to cancel my orders out? We'll see if I can get a little bit of push down through this. No, I forgot to cancel that order. All right, well, I'll put a stop right here. I forgot to hit the gray button. That's why you want to hit the gray button, folks. I left an order out there, which was my stop loss, and I just got filled. We'll see if I can get some more bleeding. I'm going to get not a terrible spot, which is why I'm not going to hop out right away. But, yeah, not looking so hot right now. Well, that's disappointing. Again, this is why you need to learn to love clicking that gray button. Had I done that, I would have been okay. Come on. See if it wants to come back down. At least I'm not on the NQ this time like I did last week. Again, the blue line is my entry point. I am short, so if you're a beginner, I want prices to come down. I did not mean to get short, though. This was actually a stop-loss order that was filled. Look at that, right off the blue line. Now it's just toying with me. Come down through that blue line. You might try to get out at break even. Better earning anything than gold. And stopped out there, so there's all my gains. Well, I'm glad I... Whoa, yikes. Again, if I can drill anything home, learn to love that button right there. I took that trade, that scalp, and I forgot to click the gray button, which meant I left an order out there. That order just got filled. And then that ended up just giving back all my gains on it. But I'm glad I didn't go tilt mode and start adding and adding and adding. Wow. Again, the learning lesson, if you're on Tradovate or what other platform, make sure there's a button that exists out there to cancel all your orders. And then click it. Become obsessive compulsive about it. Because this is what can happen. I was up $55, but I forgot to hit that. So an order got filled that I did not necessarily want to get in at. And then all my gains, that was up 55, now gone. They gone. It is what it is, I guess. Been burned a few times forgetting to click the gray button. I know, yeah. In fact, when I passed my first, let's see, where is it? Let's see. I don't know. See if I can find it here on my, did a video, let's see. Oh yeah, right here. So I did this video from the first test I passed on a future, so this was several months ago. And within this video, the first thing, the number one thing I learned was learn to love that button right here. But as you all just witnessed, apparently I forgot about that lesson. So, anybody else ever been burned by that? Wes says, anybody else ever forgotten to click the gray button? Share that in the chat room so others that are maybe new can realize, like, I'm not, well, I hope I'm not over-exaggerating, but it's sort of easy to do. Hopefully it's just not me and Wes, but, so if you've been here where the lack of, it doesn't necessarily have to be on Tradovate, but just in general, if you've forgotten to hit any sort of button or hotkey or whatever that cancel all orders out there, you know, let people know in the chat so people know that it can happen. I will never let that happen to me. I'm telling you, it's easy to happen. It's easy to happen. Now back down we go. Now I got to be careful because I'm irritated, and I want to get that back now. So I got to be careful. There's a little frustration voice starting to creep up. Also, you know, the YouTube ego voice, the live stream voice. Clay, don't look stupid. You just looked really stupid, Clay. Let's get that back so you can, you know, quickly recover. But I can't listen to that voice. You can't listen to the live stream ego voice either, because that'll get you in trouble. But it is what it is. So there we go. A good little learning lesson. Go. Some of you are just absolute savages. You included you, Mammon. Some people just want me to lose my mind. They want me to go degen mode. I guess I get it from an entertainment standpoint, but I don't know if that's really promoting what I want to promote here, which is like try to be a disciplined trader, you know? Try to be a disciplined trader and use Pam's plant. Those are my promotions. Try to be a disciplined trader, use Pam's plant. Just fat fingered 10 YM. Uh-oh. Instead of 1 off the tournament, it worked out. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah. Always check that position size too. Never fun to think that you're buying like 1 or something and then you're buying 10, or thinking you're buying 3, but you're buying 33. Or in futures, thinking that you're doing an MNQ, but you're actually doing an NQ. Like I said, did that a couple times last week. That's where things always get a bit shaky. I'm going to keep that line in there because that line seems to be playing out and respecting. I don't know. That seems like maybe a little bit too aggressive. Or think you're copy trading and take 20 on one account. Yeah. Yep. I can see that. I don't have any experience with that, but I can see how that would be a very real threat, Nathan. Did you see that trade, Nathan, where I thought I was, where I had a winner and then I left a stop loss up? Is this a revenge trade? Am I FOMOing? Should I really be wanting to buy this breakout? Right now, I don't know. I don't know because I know there's a threat that I'm a little mentally compromised right now, so I can't tell is that actually a good trade or am I just imagining that it is a good trade? Oh, aloha. Nice. Somebody in Hawaii. Hey, Donovan. Good to have you. I recognize the name. Good to have you back. Just missed it. Got here about 2 minutes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This was nice and green. And then I took a scalp, but I forgot to cancel the stop loss on it. And then all of a sudden I was short. And I was short like right. Maybe you can guess it. Yeah, I got short like right there. And then, boop. That one right there just, I think even a little slippage might have got me. My wife told me to get more in touch with my feminine side. All right, well, you better get on that. You better get on that. So I crashed the car. I'm pretty sure you don't have a wife, Curls. If I had to guess, you're a younger guy. Or am I totally wrong on that? So am I mentally compromised right now? That's what I'm trying to determine. After that frustrating trade, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't buy the breakout then. And as a trader, you got to be aware of that. It's okay. It is. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you are mentally compromised. What is wrong is for you to be mentally compromised but not want to admit it, or not even being aware that you should be checking that with yourself. I know I sound like a crazy person. What is this guy talking about? He's mentally compromised? What has he got? What does he have, like a bunch of voices that live in his head? Yes. Beginners don't get it. Like new people, I say, you have voices that live in your head. You don't even know they live there, but you know what brings it out? Trading. Trading will bring out voices in your mind that you did not know existed. So, yes, us traders sound like we're crazy people, but we should, because I would argue that means that you are in tune with the voices in your head. I am young enough to be married and old enough to be in a marriage. I don't got time for riddles right now. My brain power is too many other places. I'll let somebody else solve the riddle. I'm gonna get rid of that line now. Again, is this a mentally compromised trade that I want to get short on the break of that? Like I want to be short right now. Oh, guess not. That would have been a nice little scalp. What trading software is this? Well, that's kind of twofold of what I'm doing. I'm using a prop firm, so the way that you would get to this software and the way that I'm using this software is I'm using this prop firm right here. So step one would be you go and you pick out the purchasing power that you want. And then during the checkout phase, they would say, well, what platform do you want to use? And what you see here is Tradovate. So you would choose Tradovate. And then you do not need to go to Tradovate to set up an account separately there. The prop firm will set that all up for you, which is very nice, kind of headache saving. And then they will send you the login information for it. So that is what I'm using. I'm using Tradovate through that prop firm. And the market is so unstable right now. Well, I don't know about unstable, but I don't know. Are we heading down a VWAP right here? Maybe you just mean the market's kind of choppy right now, Axel, which I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. A little bit of chop out there for sure. All right, we're a little bit beyond the 1 hour mark. I like to try to do this every at the hour mark, but I'll go for 2 hours for sure. But I only know to keep on going further past the 2 hour mark if people are interested, and I just gauge interest via super chats and the like button. So we have about a little less than an hour to get this up to 110 likes. So if we get this up to 110 likes by the 2 hour mark, we'll keep the party going because I'll deem, all right, people are still interested. So if you are enjoying and you want to make sure the party continues and you have not hit that like button, please do so. I'm in with code Clay. Thank you, Thomas. What did you end up with? What purchasing power? What account? And thank you, Thomas. My kids will eat. For those of you that don't know, I have 6 kids. And if you use code Clay, my kids will eat. All right. So code Clay. If you do with Pam's plant, go with that prop firm. That'll not only give you the current discount, give you all the the deal, but it'll also ensure my kids eat. 50K, nice, Thomas. Are you new to futures, or where does that stand at? There we go, 83 likes. Okay, all right. A lot of kids, yeah. I mean, I don't know. We have some friends here where I live. They have 13 kids, so they make us look like total lightweights. 13 kids. Wow, what a recovery. So yeah, just up, down, up, down. So I'm gonna go SOH order right now. SOH is the order type I'm gonna be using for right now because this is just up and down. SOH, sit on hands. Sometimes I would argue this is the best order that you can choose because things can get crazy out there. So sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. I've been paper trading it for about a year. Okay, cool. Did you trade anything before futures, Thomas? So it may break out here of this upper range. I just don't trust it because this could I think equally just be the start of some sort of backwards sideways channel here. Again, maybe you see something different that makes you think it's going to break to the upside, but right now I don't trust that breakout because I'm thinking we could very well be in a choppy territory. But like I said, hindsight will be the judge. Maybe I should not be going into SOH mode right now. Maybe I should be buying. But hey, that's the power of hindsight. Hindsight will always make you look either pretty smart or pretty stupid. Tried stocks and options. So what do you think of futures compared to day trading stocks and options, Thomas? This is always the interesting part about the live stream. The live streams can either make you look really smart or really stupid, but because you're at least the way I do it, right? I'm well aware that I could kind of just talk in very, very broad generalities and just like never actually be right or wrong about anything because I don't really say anything. But I think that would be kind of boring. Yes, I agree, Thomas. So Thomas, for a lot of people are like, well, why are you doing futures? Because they're just better. They just move better than stocks and options, Forex, crypto, and a lot of other reasons, but just simply from a movement standpoint. They're just better. I'm sorry, they're just better. And they're way better compared to options. Because in options, you have that dirty little dog called theta. And while you do trade contracts in futures, so there's futures contracts, these contracts do not have theta. So right there in and of itself, hopefully that captures the eyes of you options day traders. Oh, yeah, exactly. With a prop, and then you throw in the prop firms, and it makes mathematical sense. Well, awesome, Thomas. And again, thank you for using code Clay. When did you get it? Just today, or? Or when you say I'm in with code Clay, is that like the minute? Did you like literally just get it? Yes, looking pretty similar. Yep, looking pretty similar. Actually, on Friday I started. Okay, cool, Thomas. Cool. How's it going? So you still have the account? You didn't lose it? You didn't blow anything up? If so, that's a good start in and of itself. Good job with the risk management. What does this thing want to do? I'm going to map that out. I think that's going to be an important area. There we go. We'll keep our eye on that area of resistance. Up 100 for now. Good job. Good job. If it can stay up above the purple line right there, so in other words, if it can give us a tight little kind of consolidation range right here, which would then ultimately turn into essentially a bull pennant, I would be interested in buying the breakout. But I want to see it kind of chop around here for a little bit, build out a little bit more of a pennant, and then I'd be interested. But yes, step one is it's gotta go a couple more candles. It can't violate these areas right there, and it's got to stay down below here. But if it can kind of, like I said, a little bit more chop, build out a nice little bull pennant pattern, then I could see myself being interested in taking. So if we have that, and then when the price by definition stays above those moving averages, then if I draw that up, we'd have a nice little bull pennant pattern here. But like I said, I want to see a little bit more consolidation, see if it can stay within that range before I go and buy any breakouts or anything like that. So we'll see if the price wants to push up through that area or not. So just chopping around right now, and we're just in the waiting game. Caleb. How many years have you been in the prop firm business? Well, I don't know what you mean by been in the prop firm business. I'm not in the business. I'm using prop firms. So I have been using prop firms in the future space since November. My private community finally convinced me. They've been telling me for years to get into futures, and then the past couple of years was now not only are futures awesome, but they're even better because now there's these prop firms, but I didn't trust the whole prop firm thing. So I was like, well, I'm going to let you all go be guinea pigs, and you let me know. And yeah, they've gotten paid. They've gotten paid over and over again. So I finally tried it and got involved back in November. So I would still consider myself pretty new to day trading futures in a prop firm, or yes, through a prop firm. But I mean, it's all just chart trading anyway. So now instead of using charts to day trade stocks and options, which is what I've done for a long time, I'm just using charts to trade futures. Because a bull flag in stocks is still a bull flag in futures. The head and shoulders pattern in Forex is still the head and shoulders pattern in futures. The cup and handle pattern in crypto is still a cup and handle in futures. All right, chopping around. Pull it back a little bit. Now heading back up. Let's see if it can keep on maintaining that area. See if it can stay up there. Many times, trading is just a game of waiting. That is one tricky part that you have to be careful of. If you're coming from the world of being trapped under the pattern day trading rule, and you have to like value your day trades like gold because you only get 3 of them every 5 days, it does force you to be very, very picky, which, to be fair, is a good thing. But Once you get into the futures where there's no pattern day trade rule and you can day trade as much as you want every single day, which again, I would argue is way better. I'm just saying you got to be aware of, still be patient. Still be patient. You got to wait. Question, is it possible to stack trades like buy or sell one contract multiple times? Yeah, yep. Now in stock and options, if you have less than 25,000, Axel, no, that's not, you would not be allowed to do that. You would burn through your day trades way too quick. But in the world of futures, because there's no pattern day trading rule, then yeah, you could totally do that. All right, it's just kind of chopping around some more. I'd like to see it go down there, retest the lows again, and then come back up. Then I could see myself getting a little interested in it. Yeah, come on down. Come on down. Want to bounce right off that white line? That'd be beautiful. There we go. Yep, just chopping around, building out this pattern here. Oh, all right. Entry to 20,100. Oh, so he's in. Stop. Oh, he's short. Oh, okay. Jared does not, or Gerard. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but either way, you are not feeling this bull pennant. You are bearish on this. All right, good sir. Well, I am feeling the opposite, so I suppose may the best idea win. But I appreciate you mapping out your trade, everything ahead of time. So none of this armchair quarterback trading, none of this showing up afterwards and telling us all how great of a trader you are because you supposedly did this, and this, when all you're telling us is something that's already happened in hindsight. So nothing but respect. Even if you're wrong here, I respect the fact you're putting it out there for the world to see and not doing any armchair quarterbacking. That's some good stuff right there. Nothing but respect for the lack of armchair commenting. All right. All right. I kind of wanted that. What kind of stop would that be? 08. Ooh, that's about 18. Nah, I don't know. I don't want to risk. In. Trying to pick up another 2 down here, and I'll put my line in the sand right here. Oh, I'm on NQ. I'm on NQ. Why did you tell me that I was on NQ, folks? I just did it again. Come on, chat. How did I end up on NQ? Oh, is that when I do it? When I check ES, am I automatically jumping to NQ? That must be what I'm doing. I legitimately do not know how I ended up on NQ. I had to get out of that trade because that was not what I wanted. It wasn't. I don't even know how much I made. Like 100, 200. I don't even know how much I made. I had 2 NQ on that. Well, finally it worked out. Last week I did that and it cost me. But chat, you got to tell me, hey, moron, you're on NQ. I wanted to be on MNQ. For beginners, why is that such a difference? Well, in the world of futures, MNQ and NQ, it's still the same price movement, but the worth, the amount, meaning dollar values, the way things add up, is much, much, much larger on the NQ. That's why I wanted to be on the MNQ because the P&L is not going to move as much. I made 110. Okay, well, so that was why I went into freakout mode because the NQ moves so much faster than that one. So that, yeah, exactly. So that is why I cut it early because I was on the wrong contract type. All right, I think that's what I'm doing. I think every now and then when I check ES, then I'm like, all right, let's just go back. And I think I click on NQ, and I need to be going all the way over there to click on the MNQ. So again, if you're a beginner in futures, And which makes it really nice because as a beginner, you don't have to throw yourself into the the lion's den of just pure volatility. Because the NQ, I like the NQ. I trade the NQ. That's where those gains came from. But as a beginner, but I also trade the MNQ because it's nice if you're like, I'm not quite sure the confidence is there. You can just drop down to the MNQ. So you can take the same exact pattern because both these are giving you the same patterns, the same exact setups. Their movement is just worth different amounts. And that's what makes nice about futures because everything is just measured in points. So instead of 1 point being worth $20, which is where it's at right here. So if this thing moves 1 point, that's $20. MNQ, 1 point is $2. So it's just a way for you to be able to manage risk within the system itself. How long have you been trading, Clay? I've been trading. I got involved in I guess I was more of an investor. I got involved in the markets back in college in 2006. But when I first got started, I was an astute investor in penny stocks and thought I was going to get rich with this one investment. But when did I start? Specifically futures? November. But that seems a little different because at the end of the day, you have to remember that if you trade charts, so for the past basically 20 years, I've been using charts to day trade stocks and options. Now I'm just using charts to day trade futures. So yes, I'm new to futures in that sense, but I'm not new to charts. So that's why I say people are like, well, I don't want to try futures because then I have to learn how to trade futures. That's why I always ask them, well, do you know how to trade a chart? Because if you like to play bull flags in the world of stocks, well, guess what? Bull flags exist in futures too. Question for you. How would you advise someone to position themselves in this 2025 market environment where a swipe of the presidential pen can move the market either way? You seem to be talking about more like from an investment standpoint. And now let me be very clear. I'm not saying that I would have, still been in per se, but I'd like to think that I could have, managed that. But I like I said, I had to just get out because I was in NQ and I want to be in MNQ. But yeah, there's a nice little breakout right there. So who was it? Gerard? Hey, hopefully you honored your stop loss, but nothing but respect. Take the loss like a man. Move on. What made you move to futures? Because day trading futures is way better, especially when you factor in a prop firm. Day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading crypto, day trading forex is pure and utter garbage. It's an inefficient use of your time, an inefficient use of your capital. You're taking on way too much risk. And quite frankly, you're just trading stuff that don't move as good as futures. Futures just move great. But please keep in mind the argument and my statements are an inefficient use. Please don't be like, well, Clay, I'm a stock day trader and I make money. I never said you couldn't make money. The argument is you're working harder, not smarter. So my community finally convinced me to work smarter, not harder. What's your thoughts on Webull? Well, I don't know. What are you looking to do, Donovan? When you ask a question, a hint is the more context you can provide, the more accurate of an answer you're going to get. Because for Donovan, I could be like, oh, Webull's garbage. But because Donovan didn't really provide any other context, maybe what Donovan's looking for, Webull might be perfect. But but not everybody's always going to be as nitpicky as me and be like, well, can you provide more context? So just a hint, whether it's with me or somebody else, the more context you provide to that person when you ask them a question, the more of an accurate, the less assumptions they have to make, and the less assumptions they have to make, then the more accurate of a question or answer you're going to get. But right now, Donovan's kind of leaving up a whole lot of assumptions that I have to make when he just asked, what are your thoughts on Webull? Yeah, Astro Boy, what are you doing right now, Astro Boy 5 Gamer? Are you a day trader? If so, what are you day trading? How much size are you pushing around at a time? It's irrelevant because I'm doing a prop firm. So how much, let me put this, how much risk do I have on? Well, with the prop firm, and if you were to do this, let's say you go with I'm just making this up. Let's say you go with the 100,000 purchasing power. You now have 100,000 of purchasing power, but what you have, quote unquote, at risk is simply the cost of the account, which is $231. So if something crazy happens, or if you go on tilt and you lose 3,000, because that's the amount that they'll let you lose before they take the account away from you. So if you lose that, do you actually lose 3,000 out of your pocket? Well, yeah, if you were using your own money, you would, but that's the power of prop firms, because in prop firms, no, you're not losing $3,000. They do take the account away from you, which you can get again for $100, but how much would be out of your pocket? Well, just what you cost, or what the account cost you to get. So, what did you say? How much size are you pushing around at a time? No, I'm just pushing on the size I'm pushing around would just be the cost of your account. That's the whole point of it. That's the beautiful thing about prop firms. Is you have this right here built in, or their added risk control, specifically being you protect your own money, because you have very, very, very little of your money actually at risk. And just as an FYI for the astute, wait a second, this sounds like a scam. How can they only require $231 from you, yet they're going to let you lose $3,000 of their money? Very good question. That seems like a scam. Well, this is all, the test phase occurs in a simulated environment. So you're not actually losing $3,000 of anybody's money. Just like other people said, well, that's a scam. So I have to pay $231 to make them $6,000 to hit the profit target and pass my test. And then all I get for passing the test is a pro account, and they get to keep all that? No, because again, this is all occurring in a simulated environment. But after you do pass the test, you go from the test into the pro account, and in the pro account, you get to keep 80% of those gains. So you could have your all-in risk, especially with the current deal right now. You could have your all-in risk for this one at $231, which is pretty crazy when you stop and think about it. Good questions, though. He loves this story. I'm not sure what story that is, Shane, but good to see ya. I'm just starting day trading, but now I'm thinking I'd like to get into futures. No. Do not use Webull in futures. Why would I say that? Because Webull is going to require you to lose or to use your money. You don't want to do that, because in Webull, if you do something really stupid and you lose, let's just say $3,000. Well, guess what? That's $3,000 of your money gone. However, if you're doing that same exact stupid thing within the context of Pam's plant, again within a prop firm, then sure, they'll take the account away from you. You failed the test. But you only lost out of your pocket $231. So if you're going to have one of those, whoops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot, I would rather have the whoops, that was dumb, I learned a lot, cost you $231 as opposed to $3,000 of your own money, which it would be if you're doing this in your Webull account, because Webull requires you to use your own money. So don't use your own money, especially if you're a beginner jumping into futures, because again, futures, one of the great things about them is, oh boy, they move. So with that being in mind, sure, you can make money, and the money adds up quick. But when you're learning, when you're figuring things out, you're going to do dumb things. You're going to get punched in the face. So I would rather have the punch in the face, again, cost you the $230 or whatever compared to potentially $3,000. Does that make sense, Donovan? Very cool. Do you see any downside to using a prop firm if you have your own capital also available? In other words, the only downside if you have your own capital available is this. So like the argument, which I can see the heart of it, but I don't think it's not focused on the right thing. It's not focused on risk control. If you have your own money, you could be like, well, if I use my own money, then guess what? I get to keep 100% of those gains as opposed to 80. And my counter to that would be, do you know what else you get to keep 100% of? Your losses. The day you go on tilt, the day you lose your mind, the day you just make a mess of it, or the day you're just behaving properly, you just get stuck in a crazy, crazy move. Yeah, on those days, you get to also keep 100% of the loss. Whereas in the prop firm model, you don't. Sure, you'll lose your account, but you can always get another account and then get right back at it. But the only cost you actually have out of your pocket was the cost of the account in the first place. So yes, I get it. If you're using your own money, you could sit here and say, well, I get to keep end of this one. Well, I don't want to give up 10% of my gains. This could be 100% for me, which is fair. But again, you know what also is 100% for you? The losses, the bad days. You also have to own all 100% of that. So that is why I say it's inefficient. If you just use the prop firm, you have that added risk control via, you have very, very little of your money actually at risk. And I don't know if Nathan is still here, but Nathan is a very good example of this. He hit all in for a prop firm account. He had $130. That was his all in. So he got the account, he passed the test, he moved into the pro account, then he made $9,700. At $9,700, he did break one of the rules, so therefore he lost his pro account. They took it away from him. But that was after he had already made $9,700. So he had $9,700 sent to his bank account before he broke the rules and lost the account. Again, and then he can always go back and get the account again after passing the test again. But he broke it after he made 9,700. So his all-in risk, his all-in investment, the entire time was $130. And then, so I mean, that right there, that was his all-in risk. Whereas if he had been using his own money and he had been doing well, and then that bad day where he ultimately, lost the pro account, had he lost $10,000, well, there's all his 9,700 gone. But in this situation, no, it was only his 130 finally gone. So like that's just where I say it's hard. I've yet to meet anybody that can show me how, mathematically speaking, it doesn't make, day trading something else makes more sense. And again, this is in the category of day trading. Pam's plant is not an argument for swing traders or investors. It's an argument for those that are wanting to get into day trading. Let's see. Got it. Morning, 100. Thanks for your insight. You're welcome, Donovan. Yeah, makes sense. I understand what it is used in now. Very good. Nathan Fuller, commissions are more on personal account too. That is true. Without going into every detail and taking forever, what kind of rule gets broken that causes them to do that? Oh yeah, you don't have to go into it's very easy. Within Take Profit Trader, that is. That's why for a beginner, I only recommend Take Profit Trader because the rules are very straightforward. If you do other prop firms, they're not scams, but they just have more rules that can get more complicated. But the rule that was broken and that is normally broken is, you're not allowed to lose 3,000 for this size, for the 100,000 purchasing power. Now, if you do 50, well, then you would be allowed to lose 2,000. So again, if you don't manage risk, if you go on tilt, if you get stuck in a crazy move and it's $2,000, yes, your account would be gone. But again, does that mean that you lost 2,000? Nope. You would just have lost the cost of the account. But with Take Profit Trader, what's nice is you can go back and get the account back, and the quote unquote get the account back fee is only $100. So now you could try again, and your entire risk is $100 for that, for that attempt. And if you go on a hot streak and you get through the test, you get into the pro and start making money, then you could be looking at some very good return on investments. Good questions here. Very good questions. Hey, we're at 99 likes. We need to get up to 110 likes for this stream to continue beyond the 2-hour mark. So for those of you that are new, I always go 2 hours, and then it's dependent on whether or not people are enjoying and interested. And the only way I know how to kind of measure people's interest and enjoyment levels is via that like button. So if you are enjoying, if you would like for the party to continue beyond the 2-hour mark and you have not hit that like button yet, do that. Whoa, 107, just like that. All right. We need 4 more to factor in for the JJ effect, but there we go. Looking like we have a good chance for the party to continue beyond the 4-hour mark, beyond the 2-hour mark. Just got here. Hey, bud. Hey, Frank, good to see you. Got it. So if you, let's say 20 green days in a row and we're up, let's say 20K, but then one day you lose 3,000. Yeah, it depends. So let me ask you this. Did you, Zurbad, did you, of that 20K, did you request the prop firm to put it all into your bank account? If yes, then your situation stands. But if you're like, no, I want to leave that money there, well, then that's what's known as building up your buffer. So then then that's always a great debate. How much do you request that your prop firm pays you versus how much do you want to leave in the account? The more you leave in the account, the bigger your buffer grows. So you could grow that where it's no longer $2,000. It could become $7,000. But some people say, no, don't worry about growing your buffer. Just take the money as soon as you're making it, take the money out. But that's just that's a great debate point within the prop firm world. Hey, Santiago, Kareem, that's a long name. Is it forming inverted head and shoulders? I don't know. I've never been good at identifying head and shoulders, let alone inverted head and shoulders. Still can't believe I did that with the... Ooh. Let me cook for a second. Do we got something here? Did that do it for... Oh, almost. I was going to say, I was not looking. All I was looking at was connecting that with that. And I was curious, was that going to absolutely nail where that got rejected? And it was very close, but technically speaking, it didn't exactly hit it, but pretty close. So I think this trend line up here could have some significance. So I'm going to keep an eye on that level up there. Be careful on long. It could be a trap. Well, I mean, with all due respect, Santiago, if you play the could game, then you'll never take a trade again. Right? Playing the could game, you'll probably never leave your house. But then again, if you stay in your house, a plane could land on it and you'll die. So, I mean, careful with the could game. If you play the could game in the world of trading, you will never, ever, ever take a trade. Yeah, okay. Or you can change to the may game. It may, yes. Playing the could or may game, you'll never take a trade. Because, you're right, Santiago. That may happen. So, I highly discourage playing the may or could game. Love from Panama. Awesome. I'm a beginner trading. Oh, no. Which you mentioned is pretty inconsistent. Luckily, after studying so much, I haven't blown my account yet, but I want to move to futures in a while. Well, why a while? You should be doing that right now. Stop risking your money. If you are day trading stocks, that is all of your money at risk right now. Don't do that. There are better ways. Not to mention futures move way better than stocks. Way better. Oh, yeah, Clay. Well, I trade small cap stocks. Yeah, I trade low float stocks. Yep, still total garbage in how they move. Not to mention the biggest downside there is, yeah, I'll give credit. They do move. They still don't move as good as futures, but you get one dump, you get caught in one rug pull, you can be looking at some huge losses. You get stuck in one halt, and then the halt opens up lower than where you got in. Yeah, that's all your money getting roasted. Not in the prop firm world. Not in the prop firm. All right, we're at the trend. Do I get short here? This is kind of a sketchy one, so I'm gonna. If it comes up through the yellow line, I'm gonna try to capture it back down through. So I want to see step one. I want to see it get up above the yellow line, and then I will throw an order out there to try to capture it on the way back down, and then my stop will be above the high. But it looking like right now, it's gonna just get shoved right back. I want to, brother, but in Panama, brokers aren't flexible, and apparently with. All right. Okay. Let's check something real quick. Because I'm not. So we don't want to see. We don't want to see Panama on this list. Where's the P's? Down here. Pakistan. There you go. There is no Panama. No Panama. I'm not sure if you can even see that on the screen, but I'm telling you there's no Panama. So right now, what you're complaining about, it's irrelevant. Go to the link. Go to this link that you see at the top that's pinned at the top of the chat box. Use them. They're open to you. And you can get an account with them, and you're instantly in the U.S. markets. So right there, Panama is not on the banned country list. So you could literally become a day trader in the U.S. markets, within the next hour. Code Clay if you wanna get the discount and support the channel. Code Clay at checkout. So my kids can eat. I got 6 of them. They gotta eat. They gotta eat. Code Clay. There's nothing there. There's no more of a bigger buzzkill than you show somebody that list and then their country's on it. You're like, oh man, they were getting so excited. Pam's plant's amazing, and then sorry, not open to you. But good. Panama is not on that list. Still watching. Gonna want to see it come. Ooh, I like this even more now. Come on now. I want to see it up a little bit. I'm going to have a very tight risk on it, and that's fine. Oh, do I just get in right now? Stop above here. Clay, do you have a unique channel? I've been following you off and on for over 4 years, and you're basically the only one who just a real... Do you have a unique channel? I'm not sure what... I have a channel that I'm running this live stream through, so I guess, yes, that would be my unique channel. If you want to use American prop, you're going to get hit with the... yeah. I'm just waiting for the tweet. And now we're gonna tariff prop firms. Could you imagine? That'd be wild. Crushing it on the likes. This is we might have a chance of a record-breaking stream on this one. We'll see, but doing very well. All right, so 2120 is certainly the key area of support. Look at this. Bounced. So is that the short? If I short on a break here, my stop is above 15-point stop. We'll see what I think. I want to stick with, like I said, see it come up, get through the yellow line, and then try to capture it on the way back down. Gives me hope that it's not all BS. You just prove day trading is a real thing beyond selling people programs to show them how day trading instead of actually doing it. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that have been paid. Now, keep in mind, none of my claims are like any of this is easy. I'm not saying like this is some... Pam's plan is not like a magic pill, holy grail. All Pam's plan ultimately does is it gives you more time to learn. Because instead of one dumb mistake costing you $3,000, it cost you $100 because you lost the account. But I'd rather have something just cost me $100 to learn a valuable lesson as opposed to $3,000. What stock is this? I am trading futures. I don't day trade stocks. Day trading stocks is no good. We should break the record for record-breaking days in a row. Oh, that's a new record I didn't even think about. All right, I gotta stay focused here. Again, it needs to come up through the yellow line. I'll try to capture it on the way back down through with a stop over the highs. Yeah, Tyler, I have switched to day trading futures now just because it's way better. And I was a stubborn donkey for a very long time, but my private community finally convinced me to give it a try. And then they're like, and you got to do it through prop firms because prop firms are awesome. And I was like, okay. And they were right. I was the stubborn donkey for way longer than I should have been. Yeah, I already lost the 3K, funny enough, back in 2020 and haven't day traded since. I made it back on 20K swing trade on SPI, but besides that, I just buy and hold. Yeah, well, here you go. That 3,000, as you see now that you lost, 3,000 can take you very far within the world of the prop firms because you can get yourself quite a few accounts. You can give yourself quite a few opportunities with $3,000. Whereas if you're using 3,000 of your own money, then yeah, you do something dumb enough, you get stuck in a crazy enough move, and that 3,000 could be gone just like that. You should futures in your title. The title of this, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to sucker in people, not sucker in because it's not but I'm trying to bring in people that trade things other than futures. Because if somebody's a stock day trader and they're like, oh, this is somebody live trading futures, then they're not going to come on and they're never going to actually learn that, hey, stock day trader, there's actually something better you could be doing. Or like an options day trader where options day trading is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, sounds good. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was kidnapped. Yeah, that was me on yesterday actually, Brian. So they must have gone and got you after they got me yesterday. But thank you for the feedback, Wes. I appreciate it. Always appreciate feedback. But yeah, one of my goals with this is I'm trying to bring people in that are that are not day traders of futures, so that I can share with them. Hey, let me share with you this better way. And what's nice about it is it's not like my opinion it's better. It's like mathematically provable that it's better. Like it's logically better. So that way I can say if you're not day trading futures through a prop firm, you're behaving irrationally. Because if you're going against logic, then that would be by definition, you're not doing what's rational. And that's what math is. Math is structure. Structure is logic. So if I can show you mathematically something is better, then that, therefore, it logically makes sense. So I want people to be doing things that logically make sense and are most efficient. That's what I'm defining as makes the most sense. Doing what is most efficient. Not if you can make money, because yeah, you can make one of those other things, but can you do it in the most efficient manner? Yeah, all it takes is one rug pull to ruin you unless you're in a prop firm. That's exactly. Yep. One crazy move, even if you're behaving badly. But I mean, sometimes as traders, we make messes of ourselves. We go on tilt, we revenge trade. And that can still happen in a prop firm, but to your point, it's not like you just destroyed your entire account or anything like that. All right, looking for this to break up through here and then try to capture it on the way back down. Okay, come on. Okay, there it is. I'm going to get short there. Stop above the highs. Low probability trade, but I got a super tight stop. So I'm either going to get rejected or this is a true breakout and I'm going to take my loss and move on. Now it moves up through that green line. I'm going to cancel the trade because my risk profile is getting bigger than what I want it to be. Nope, there it is, up through. Never mind. Again, now my risk profile is too high because I wanted to put my stop above these highs, but if this keeps pushing up, I don't want to have like my entry point way down here and my stop way up there. That's way too big of a risk profile. I wanted for it to come up, come back down, which it did, and then I want to come and film it because then I would have a very, very tight stop and it would have been either you're getting rejected and coming down or I'm just going to get out with a very tiny loss. I don't know. What would this still be? 32 up to, yeah, I'll just go with one. There we go. Sell, stop over there. So not going to make a whole lot if I'm right, but I'm more concerned about my risk management right now than compared to anything else. So I don't really care how much I can make. I care way more about, if I'm wrong, how much am I going to lose? Come on. My entry, there we go. I'm in. All right, let's see if this thing wants to roll over. Buys. Joe Purr, you were buying? Well, I'm short right now. All right, let's move my stop loss down slightly. So this will be a winning trade. Now let's see if I can capture some momentum. I'm going to move my stop loss down. No, come back down. Come back down. Again, this will be a winning trade no matter what, because my stop loss is in front of my entry. Oh, all right. Well, I gave it a chance. Didn't work out. Dogging me? Dogging me. I'm not sure. Is that some sort of crypto? So that was a very small winning trade, but as soon as I could get myself into profitable territory, I did that because I was hoping on this candle it would just keep on coming down, but as we saw there, that didn't quite play out. Can you do a webinar on like people moving from stocks to futures, a mini how-to? What are you confused about, Rob? Like, for example, Rob, so you're trading stocks. Do you use charts to trade stocks? Do you plan on making more day trading videos on regular stocks again in the future? No, absolutely not, Tyler. Tyler, like, stop day trading stocks right now, Tyler. It literally makes no sense. You're wasting your time. You're taking on too much risk. Futures move way better than stocks. Way better. You are literally risking all of your money. Like, every time, it's all of your capital at risk when you're day trading stocks. Stop doing that. He got the dog in him. Yeah, woof. Yeah, well, so same question to you, Tyler. Do you use charts within your trading? Do you use charts? So Rob and Tyler, do you guys use charts within your trading? Is that how you make your decisions? I try my best to. Yeah, using charts, no clue. Okay, so the only difference for you guys would be, like, you're 97% of there, because the only difference for you is, well, let me ask you this, Tyler and Rob, what's your favorite technical pattern? Like, do you have a pattern out there that you prefer more over something else? Let me ask you this. I subscribe for that. What is random subscribe for? Because I got some dog in me? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That I got some dog in me, boy. You should have held sells clean move. Huh? Well, there it comes down. Well, that's all right. I was aggressive on it. But that is one where choosing to scalp it out, I was wrong. Had I just sat back and let it work for me, I would have been paid nicely. Gamble at all on zero DT options, that's the real... So Apod is well, I think they're trolling. I'm pretty sure they're just joking around. I hope they're just joking around. I'm pretty sure they're just joking around. So again, Tyler and Rob, what is your favorite technical pattern? As you're trading, what patterns do you enjoy? Did anybody take this? Did anybody take that? Hopefully somebody took it and maybe played a little bit better than I did. It would have worked out beautifully. I'm still learning. Don't have a favorite pattern yet. All right, well, what's a pattern that you've learned, Rob? Let me ask you that. Fair enough. They don't have no technical pattern. So they do have a technical pattern. If they don't have no technical pattern, that means they have one. Head and shoulders and flag. Okay, well, I'm happy to report, Tyler, that head and shoulders and flag patterns totally play out, totally are in the futures world. I mean, here's one right here, right? Hopefully we can agree. That's a nice little, well, technically you said a flag, but bull pennant. Nice breakout right there. So point being is those patterns that you use and that you've learned about in stocks or whatever you're using, those same exact patterns are in futures because you're just using charts. And that's why charts are so powerful, because all charts are measuring as price action. Now, whether that price action is futures or stocks, doesn't really matter. It's price action. So making a switch into futures, it's not like, oh, now I got to learn all this stuff. No. Instead of using charts to day trade stocks, you would now be using charts to day trade futures. The only other thing that you'd have to learn is how points work. So on the NQ, this distance from here to here, if you look at these numbers, So I'm going to quiz you so you can see. So this difference here is 20. So in futures jargon, that is 20 points. 1 point equals $20. So the question becomes, okay, well, how much was this distance worth? I've given you enough numbers to do this, but I'll go through the math real quick with this so you can understand how it all works. So if that distance there is 20, and we know that each point is worth 20 points, that right there is $400 per contract. So if you had 3 contracts, you'd have to multiply that by 3. And right there, that little distance would have been $1,200. So there you go. There's futures for you. Use charts. You now know the points. And there you have it. How did I decide my prop firm? Good question. Based on my community. My community was like, hey, there's 2 of them, but they're like, I would go with Take Profit Trader because they have a really good payment policy. Their rules are very clean and all that. So if you're a beginner to the prop firm world, yes, there are other prop firms out there, but I would say that Take Profit Trader, I'm using and recommending, just makes it very clean. Because other prop firms are not scams, but they have a lot more rules and things can get a little iffy. But with Take Profit Trader, very straightforward, and they have a great payment policy. Because some prop firms, let's just say you make $5,000, and this doesn't make them scams, but it's just kind of a why, to answer the question, why I chose Take Profit Trader. So the other main reason was because of the clean set of rules. Is if you were to make $5,000 with the other prop firms, they're like, okay, you made $5,000, but you're only allowed to request money every couple weeks. And when it's a couple weeks later, you're actually only able to request $2,000 of that $5,000. Now they will pay you, and eventually you'll get paid everything, but it's kind of drawn out. With Take Profit Trader, they're like, hey, if you make $5,000, you can request money whenever you want, and you can request all $5,000 if you want. So right there is where it's like, okay, that's certainly worth it for me. I've been thinking about switching from options to day trading. So Dante, Dante, if you make money options day trading, you would be doing so much better. Because you know this, Dante, but to explain why options day trading is literally like working harder, not smarter, is in options, if you buy something, so let's think about what could potentially happen. So the obvious thing would be, well, if you buy something and you want that something to go up, well, of course, you made money. The other obvious thing is, well, if you buy something and it goes down, well, in that situation, you lost money. And then the other one is, okay, well, what happens if it just goes sideways? Now, most people, rightfully so, are like, okay, well, that's kind of like the break even. Nothing happens. You didn't make money, you didn't lose money. Not so with options. Options, you also lose money because there is something called theta. So in other words, if you are day trading options, you have a 67% chance to lose money. Because of the 3 things that can happen, 2 of them cause you to lose money. But in the world of futures, there is no theta. So that's why I say, if you make money as a day trader in options, well done. But you are working inefficiently. You are working harder, not smarter. You would be making so much more in the world of futures. Why? Well, because there is no theta. There is no theta. So Dante, I would argue there really shouldn't be any question in your mind. You should be like, oh yeah, no, I'm definitely going to day trade options, because why deal with theta if I don't have to? I don't know who they are, Adam, so I have no comment on them. I say the goal should be for the new people, Take Profit Trader. Get your feet wet in the world of prop firms, and then after that, you could start to move to so if there's any like advanced options trader, advanced prop firm traders here, you understand the rules, you understand how to navigate things, then sure. I mean, you can go with Apex. I do have a code with them too, code Clay, if you want to support the channel. But mainly the people here are beginners to the prop firm world. They're beginners to futures trading. So I want to just make things as simple as possible, and Take Profit Trader makes that happen. If I did miss your comment, I apologize. I'm not ignoring anybody, but we're just getting quite a few. What platform do you recommend for futures? I used Thinkorswim before. Alpod, I recommend a prop firm. So what I would recommend is going to the link that you see on the screen. And the way it works is you would select the purchasing power that you want. Then during the checkout, the one that you see here on the screen is Tradeovate. You would click on that, and then they will go and create the Tradeovate account for you, which is very nice. So you don't have to go to Tradeovate separately and go through that whole hassle of signing up there. Nope, they'll do all that for you, and then they'll send you your login information, and then you log into Tradeovate, and you can get right to it. Take profit is super simple. It's like the Robin. Yeah, it is very simple. And I think I saw Joper. You blew up your account. Well, yeah, you did. Now I have to reset. Well, I'm glad that was only $100 or whatever out of your pocket as opposed to thousands of dollars. I'm going to look into that prop firm as well. Take profit. Yeah, just use the link on the top of the screen. And like I said, Dante, if you want to get the the promotion, which is 30% off and then 0 activation fee, and you want to support the channel, make sure my kids eat. Code Clay will ensure that happens. Browse clips. They're actually not expensive right now with the current browse clips. They may appear that way, but other firms, yeah, they're cheaper, but then they're and I get it, you can pass in one day. But then as soon as you pass, they hit you with all those activation fees where it makes it more expensive anyways, browse. So no, they're not expensive. But even if I grant they're a little bit more expensive, I mean, I think the payment flexibility to be able to request payments whenever you want in any amount, I think that's well worth it. In my opinion. Looks like we're choppy again. Is there a monthly subscription? Good question, Rob. So the way it works is during the test phase. So the goal is you want to prove you can trade. So pass their test, go from test to pro. And pro is important for a couple different ways. But during the test, hey, how long do I have passed the test? What is the test? Well, let's just say the 50,000 purchasing power, you've got to make 3,000, but you got to manage risk. They don't want you losing 2,000. So during this phase, though, you can take as long as you want. I recommend get the test passed within 1 month so that you don't have to pay this monthly fee again. Because the test phase is per month. So that's why I say you don't have to rush, but get it done within 1 month so you don't have to pay this again. Because then once you go from the test into the pro, there is no more monthly fee. So right there, like I said, you have real-time data, all that sort of stuff. Just no more monthly fee at that point. Got you, bro. Thanks, Dante. All right, we're back up to that tread line here, huh? Do we take another short is the question. If you are enjoying, if you feel like you're learning, if you're entertained, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. That'll ensure that the party continues. So that's true. I agree. I would try it, but my problem is I have trading futures for about a year now, and I think I haven't taken any payout. I get so close to passing the account, then blow it. Well, I mean, what's the alternative, Browse? I mean, so take your situation, Browse, and put it into, let's just say you're using your own money this entire time. Would you even have any of your own money left? That's what I would challenge you with, Browse. I would assume no. I would assume if you had used your money this entire time, you'd be out of it probably a long time ago. Actually, yes, I have. Rob, what amount of capital should I set it? Right here. No, Rob, it's fine. The amount of capital you should set aside is, if you're doing the lowest route, 105. That's all it would take you, is $105. I have to go now. See you on the next. All right, take care, Tyler. Go get signed up for Take Profit. You're done day trading stocks, Tyler. That's a thing of the past. Stop being inefficient. Everyone can agree that prop firm is low risk, high reward. No, not really. We've had a couple clowns show up. Well, no. You're right. Everybody does agree. So nobody has been able to prove how this here is wrong. People have attacked me though. They're like, yeah, Clay, that's a good idea, but you. It's like, well, what do I have to do with anything? You just said it's a good idea. So you just accused me of offering a good idea. So what are we talking about? Well, yeah, but you're only doing it because you're getting paid. That's a referral link. It's like, okay, so I'm getting paid to give you a good idea. So, but we can still agree it's a good idea. Well, yeah, Clay, it's a good idea, but you're getting paid. Okay, but it's a good idea, right? Like that's where you go around. People, it's undefeated. Nobody can tell me how Pam's plant is a bad idea. But some people will just come at me. Well, you're a scammer, okay? So I'm a scammer that's giving you a good idea. Well, yeah, it's a good idea, but you're a scammer. Okay, so your current position is a scammer is giving you a good idea. Yeah. Okay, well, then it's a good idea. Like, what are we talking about here? So, like I said. Undefeated. Right there, that trend line, again. It seems though right now it's like you wait for it to break and then try to capture it back on the way through. And that seems to have been pretty good so far. Hey, Clay, do I have to subscribe to data feed from Tradeovate? No. I don't know, Art. Are you still going through Take Profit? If you're using Take Profit Trader, then no, you don't need to be doing anything on Tradeovate's side. Your take profit trader, when you purchase that account, that is also giving you data and all that. You don't have to pay anything extra. I hope I get a payout soon. I think that will help me boost my confidence. Yeah, well, browse, like I said, I hear you, but I think that what you replied, but I mean, if you were using your own money this entire time, you would have been knocked out of the game a long time ago. So you're basically proving Pam's plant. Pam's plant doesn't guarantee you're going to make any money, but it certainly keeps you in the game a whole lot more, and it gives you that many more opportunities to figure things out. Oh my goodness, I hit the 3K goal for my account today and walked away, came back 30 minutes later to find me in another trade. I lost 3,000 before finally backing it, pulling it back, but wow. Yeah, I had that earlier, Nas. I had a trade that I took. Let me put it this way. At one point, this was $55. I took a trade. I made money, but then I forgot I left an order out there because I didn't click that button right there. And then I got filled, and I gave back all those gains. So that wasn't fun. And good reminder to hit this button. Whatever platform you're on, learn. If you're on Tradeovate, learn to love that gray button. After you're done with the trade, just click it to make sure it cancels all the orders out there. Clay, if you want to avoid that type of discussion, just get your gain from the prop firm audited and let the... No, that doesn't matter either, Mammon. There are some people out there that, and I've learned, will be like, you don't day trade. And then I show them, oh, no, I do day trade. Well, that's fake. That's a demo. Okay, then I show them that's not. Well, you don't make any money. And then I made some money. Yeah, but that's only in 1 week. Okay, well, here's a month. Well, that's only 1 month. And then basically before you know it, they're asking you, well, I want to see your audited financials for the year. And then you could show them that. And then that person would be like, yeah, but you paid off the accountant. Some people, they're just never going to believe you. That's why I prefer with Pam's plant, let's just default. Let's just take me out of it. When we talk about Pam's plant, and as I said, when people want to argue, let's just start here. I'm a scammer, I'm a scumbag, I'm a terrible father, I'm a terrible person. I kick dogs, I kick puppies. I don't help old people across the street. I push them down before I cross the street. Like, I am anything terrible. All anybody has been able to do is, this terrible person is giving a good idea. It's like, okay, well, the idea is good then. Yes, but you're a terrible person. Okay, so your position would be a terrible person is giving a good idea. Okay, so are we here about me or are we here about the idea? So that's why I don't need to prove. Like, I'll just assume. Let's say I'm the worst trader ever. Let's say I'm a total con man. Let's say I'm a total scammer. All you would default to is a scammer is giving a good idea. Because nobody can tell me how this is a bad idea. Mathematically, nobody can show me how this is a bad idea. They can only attack me. So that's why I just concede. Call me anything negative you want. Now let's talk about the idea. How is this a bad idea? Well, no, Clay, it's a good idea, but you're a scammer. Okay, so I'm a scammer giving you a good idea. Yes, but you're a scammer. Okay, but it's a good idea, right? Well, yes, it's a good idea. Okay, then. That's why I just default. There's no need to get down in the weeds to try to prove anything. I'll just take on whatever negative thing that they want to call me, because that's the ad hominem fallacy. They're attacking the person making the argument, but they've already conceded, well, it's a good argument, but I don't like you, the person making it. Okay, but it's a good argument, right? It's a good idea? Well, yeah. So there is literally no reason, logically speaking, to even, I'll just default. Call me anything negative you want, but let's talk about the idea. Tell me how that doesn't make sense. Tell me how it makes more sense to be a day trader with options and have to deal with theta. Tell me how that makes sense. It doesn't. Again, doesn't mean you can't make money, because my argument is not that you can't make money day trading options. My argument is you're inefficiently going about it. If you want maximum efficiency, Pam's plant. Clay, we got it. It's a great idea, you scammer. Exactly. I'll take it. I'm a scammer that's giving a good idea. Fair enough. And I realize Nathan is joking, by the way. I don't know. Maybe just try logging out. Try logging out, Art. We've had that a couple times, and a simple log out fixes those solutions. So if you tried logging out and back in, Art, you can trade futures on weekends also. No, kind of. They do close Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and they open back up on Sunday at 6 p.m. So if I guess on the very end of the weekend you could on Sunday night. What do we think about PLTR earnings today? Oh, I have no idea, Dominic. I'm a day trader. This is a day trading live stream. I don't do fundamentals. I don't even know what PLTR does. I know they go up, and they're a pretty popular stock, but well, we're day traders here. Day traders specifically in futures. So in other words, Dominic, you don't want me answering that question unless you want me just totally talking out of my backside. Oh, I thought I saw you trading this weekend. Oh yeah, no, my live trade videos that I post, that is me trading live, but it's not like that's not like me on a live stream. It's just some live trades. Some people will like record themselves trading live and then they come back and do a voiceover, but that's not like, those videos are me trading live at the time. So it's not like a voiceover, it's totally unscripted. Don't trade on the news days? Why not? I mean, some of them will say you can't trade right when the news is released, but I mean, to not trade the entire day? I don't know about that. Roger that, Brian. 5 minute is interesting here, though. We got a nice little candle here. Is this candle going to come back down? If so, I don't know. Do you get short like down here with a stop up above here? Maybe. Stefano, Clay, do you trade futures only after market open, or do you do any trades before? No, I'll do some before the New York exchange opens. Where are the best and simplest sites to learn futures? Vinny T, what do you trade right now? What do you day trade right now? Vinny T, what do you day trade right now? Joe named Clay, you are a futures trader now. Yeah, I finally stopped being such a moron. Correct. Okay. So do you, Vinny T, do you use charts to day trade stocks? Okay. And simple options. Fair enough. Do you use charts within your decision-making process? Okay. Do you have like a pattern that you like? Do you have a pattern that you prefer more over something else? Okay, well, you can use, I have good news. You can use the MACD in futures. If you want, you could throw the MACD down here and have it as an indicator. Good news, reversals, that the reversals also exist in futures. Do you like bull flags or anything? Yes? All right, well, I have good news for you. Bull flags exist in futures. So what I'm getting across is you don't have to go and learn how to trade futures. You already know how to trade futures. But the only difference would be instead of using your chart to trade a bull flag on a stock option, you're now using a chart to trade a bull flag on a futures contract. So, okay, support and resistance. Yeah, supports and resistances. Those exist in futures too. So now instead of using a chart to find support and resistances on a stock, you're using supports and resistances to find, or you're using charts to find support and resistances on a future. So that's you don't, and I understand why, but people are like, oh man, I got to go learn how to trade. No, if you use a chart, you already know how to trade futures. You're 97% of the way. How to choose what to trade futures. Well, this is where I would recommend Take Profit Trader. So if the link that's at the top, that'll take you to a prop firm. You sign up with them, and then I use Tradeovate, and then you can use that. That's all you got to do. Man, this trend line here is being stubborn. I have been making my way through your online courses. Oh, nice, Rob. The material in there is applicable to futures, I assume. Absolutely. Yep. I did not know you remember the mentorship program. Good. Yeah, Vinny, just go the link that's at the top of the screen. If you go there, use code CLAY. That'll give you the current discount, 30% off and no activation fee. That will give you a very risk-insulated way to trade futures. This trend line here has been a champion. Like I said, the way to seemingly play it, and maybe I'll do it again, is wait for the price to come up and then just come back down. Although I would now say we have all right, I'm going to do this. Let's move this up to here. And then we have a rising wedge, which is bearish. So rising wedge, we have, there's the top of it. So right there. All right. If this thing can come up a bit more, so I want a few more candles, and then I'm going to look to short the breakdown of this pattern. Rising wedge, bearish. Now, just because something's a bullish pattern doesn't mean the price is for sure going to go up. Same is true here. Just because there's a bearish pattern does not mean the price is going to go down. Well, good to have you back, Rob. It could keep pushing up. As I said earlier, if you want to play the could or may game, you'll never make a trade in your life. Because yes, that could happen. Yes, that may happen. But if that's all you're going to do, then you're never going to make a trade. Because any trade you make, yes, it could go the opposite way. Does these firm teach you to trade from scratch? No. If you don't know how to use charts, then you definitely first got to learn how to do those if you want to be a technical day trader. I do offer at claytrader.com. I offer stuff there if you want to learn how to trade from scratch. But that is totally your choice. Hey, if you are enjoying, let's push this up to 150 likes if we can. We're 16 away. I do use likes to measure how interested people are or not. We had a couple live streams last week go almost 4 hours, but that's because the likes kept creeping upwards. So if you are enjoying, if you're interested in this, the easiest way to communicate that to me is to hit that like button. So if you want the party to continue, make sure you hit that like button so we can keep it moving. Like I said, I am bearish biased right now on this rising wedge pattern. I'm actually using the 21 EMA as my lower trend line. So 21 EMA is a lower trend line. I just drawn on that to more so visualize kind of the pattern itself. So there we go. The longer it can stay between here, the lower and lower my risk profile becomes, which is what I'm most interested in. His online courses are legit and easy to learn and follow. Oh, thanks, Rob. I'm glad you're enjoying them. All right. No, hindsight is our judge, will be my judge. Maybe I'm totally wrong to be bearish biased. And yeah, it could come up here and explode like that, but that's what stop losses are for. So if that happens, well, then so be it. I will take a losing trade, and I'll still be plenty green on the day because I'm going to play this conservatively. I am on MNQ. Very good. So yeah. But again, as a trader, you cannot play the may or could game. You'll never take trades. You'll never leave your house. You'll wrap yourself in bubble wrap. But even if you wrap yourself in bubble wrap, well, it could be toxic bubble wrap from China, and then like the poison will sneak into your soak into your skin, right? I mean, could or may. You'll never make a trade. You'll never leave your house, but you still won't be safe. Like I said, I want to see it chop around here a little bit more. Let's keep on working on this rising wedge pattern. Then I'm going to give it a go, assuming it can behave within the rules that I'd like to see it behave in. If you see it differently, like why are you putting on all these little extra contingencies? Hey, go for it. As long as you're both thinking for ourselves, that's what it's all about. No shame in being wrong. If you were thinking for yourself and you did something logical and it just didn't work out, no shame from me. That's good stuff. That's the name of the game. Got to be able to think for yourself, folks. But right now, it is just a wait and see. Got to let things develop. And as traders, that's what it's all about. Got to be patient. So if there are any other questions or whatever, now's a good time because not a whole lot to talk about in regards to this. We've talked about what needs to be talked about. Okay, now we're coming down maybe to the bottom of the... Again, I'm not willing to take it yet. I'd love to see it come down to that 21 EMA, that green line, and bounce off it again. Now I admit I'm getting a little high maintenance here, so I don't know if I'll necessarily require this. But what would be beautiful, like my face, is if this thing came up here, got rejected, and then came back down, and boom, short right there. But like I said, I may be a little bit more. That may be a little on the high maintenance side. I admit that. But we'll see if it can do something like that. Okay, don't come through. I'm not willing to take you right here. Bounce off. There you go. Yep, good. Come on. Now, if you were thinking of shorting this right here, I don't blame you. I'm not calling you crazy at all. Again, because I see where you're coming from. It's just not quite fitting my criteria. But if you're like, I'm not waiting for that stuff, Clay. I'm getting short right there. I get it. I got you. I would not call that random by any stretch of the imagination. But like I said, I'm just not willing to quite take it here. I'd like to see it come up a little bit more. It doesn't necessarily have to hit the red or the yellow line up there. That was, like I said, me being a little bit high maintenance, but we'll see if it wants to come up there. Can somebody give me a 1 in the chat box? Like, it's gone so quiet that I don't even know is anybody even here? Is the chat box still working? If you hear me. All right, there we go. Do you always use 2-minute charts. Why use many time frames? I'm just using the 2-minute to watch here. But yeah, off screen over here on this monitor, I have other time frames. But yes, I am a fan of the 2-minute. All right, James and Ahmed, thank you. Are you using the order book on the right? No. Nope. I just have this over here because some people do like to watch it. So I have it over there for them, but I do not personally use it. What's the green line? That is the 21 EMA. The 21 EMA. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Thank you for UNH. Last week, today I win. Thanks. You're welcome. Glad you're finding some success on it. All right, that green line, the 21 EMA, it's doing work, doing work. I'm holding UNH call. Gotcha. For like a swing trade or what? Come on, come up a little bit more. At this point, if this comes up here and pushes up above 140 and then comes back down, I'm taking it. Yeah, that's true. Don't forget to tip the dealer. Oh. There is the rising wedge breakdown. So if you took it as a scalper, I'd assume you're probably out or thinking about getting out very soon. And now it's just a question of, was scalping, was that the right choice, or should you let it have worked more for you? Okay, your swing trading options. All right, no complaints there. I get the whole swing trading options thing. But if you had said your day trading options, oh boy. Oh boy. I would have had to go into lecture mode. So right now, again, it's just a decision of, and this is where hindsight will be the judge. There are some people that took that short and they decided to scalp out, and they're nice and green. And they'll be feeling great about themselves if this thing all of a sudden turns around. But if this thing keeps going down, they're going to be like, oh, why did I scalp? But right now, the people that are wanting it to move more, that are like, no, I'm not going to scalp. If this happens right here, they're going to be like, oh, why didn't I just scalp? But if it does go down more, they're going to be like, yes, I'm glad I didn't scalp. So moral of the story being, yeah, you know what? Sometimes choosing a scalp is going to make you look very smart. It's going to be great. Other times you're going to be like, I should have let it work for me. So right now, the people that want to see more work out of it, they're not out of the woods. We can't say they have a green trade per se. Scalpers, I would say, are definitely in the green. Are you live daily? Yes, I am live daily. I am here no later than 11 a.m. Eastern. And even sometimes I do some Saturday streams, but so congratulations to anybody that took. Now in hindsight, I sit here and say, man, Clay, why did I put so many contingencies on it? But that is also hindsight confirmation bias. So it is what it is. But for anybody that was like, no, Clay, I disagree with those other little things you want to see. I'm just going to get short like right here. Well done. I would assume that the people that wanted to see more pushback, their stops, I would assume, are probably at break even now. Maybe they locked out some on the way down. So now they're just, they're in the green, and it's just a question of, is this going to be a modest green trade or a big green trade if it can continue to fall, which is a great spot to be in. When you can sit there as a trader and be like, hey, this is a green trade. My only worry, my only unknown in the world right now is how big of a green trade is it going to be? That's a great spot to be in. That's the goal. In fact, I would call that's the sweet spot of trading. When you get to sit in a trade and be like, it is a green trade. My only unknown right now is how big of a green trade is this going to be. That is the sweet spot. You're 219 in the red. Well, what are you trading, MYM? Hey, let's get 4 more likes. Let's just push this thing up over 150. And then I think we have a striking chance at 200 likes again. SPY. You're day trading SPY, like SPY options or what? Do you think today trend for SPY, bear trap? Well, I don't know. You got, again, as I mentioned earlier, if you're going to ask a question, please provide context. Like for you're asking me, do I think the trend for today is going to, I don't know. What time frame are you looking at? Got to give time frames. What do I think about X, Y, Z? It's like, well, I don't know. Are you a day trader? Are you looking at the 2-minute? Or are you a swing trader and you're looking at the weekly? When do you call it a day in terms of size of daily loss? After a number of losing trades or a loss amount? It could be either or just maybe a combination. But yeah, that's just something that you got to kind of figure out what jives best with your circumstances and, you know, kind of how you go about things. But I'm glad your mind is on that. That's good. That's a good place to have your mind. I still hold SPY call, still FOMC. Yeah, we just trade two different ways. You're kind of just you're kind of gambling with the swing trading of options. I don't do that, so I'm not. I really, yeah, I really don't care what I think the SPY daily is going to do today, because I'm not, you know, I'm not a swing trader investor. I'm just trying to think what's going to happen here in the next 2 minutes. That's where I'm at as a day trader. What's going to happen in the next 2 minutes? I don't care what's going to happen next week. I don't care what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't even care what's going to happen 3 hours from now. And I don't even care what happens in an hour from now. I'm just trying to figure out what's going to happen in like the next 2 to 5 minutes. That's where us day traders are at. Which to some, it just like blows their mind. Like in my real life, if I come across somebody and I kind of explain this, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking to buy and sell. Like, you know, sometimes it happens in less than a minute. They're like, wait, what? You're buying and selling something within a minute? Like, yeah. Are you also going to do some trades, or are you... Jada, did you just show up, or have you been here for a while? Let me get some context here. You must have just shown up, because there's no way you've been here for like 4 minutes and just asked that. I just got here. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, I've been trading. I am looking to trade. I was looking to actually make a trade. I mapped out this rising wedge. So you missed out, Jada. Had you been here, I mapped out this rising wedge pattern. And Jada, you could have shorted it right there. I wanted to see something else happen with it. Unfortunately for me, that quote-unquote something else did not occur, so I missed that trade. But yes, I was trying to trade. J Nash Music. Good afternoon. I'm new to this video. I'm new to this. Love your videos. Good. I'm glad you're new. Welcome. As I'm not sure what you're new to my channel, new to the live stream, or just new to trading in general. But I'm glad you're loving whatever you're new to. It's always good when you're loving something that you're new to. Oh, no, I'm a complete beginner. I'm just learning the ropes, not going to actually trade for a while. Well, good to have you, Jada. Good to have you. As a complete beginner, I would highly recommend day trading futures and doing so through a prop firm. Like, or what do you think you want to trade right now, Jada? Let me ask you that. Trading in general. Well, good. Nas, I think you just need to, you're going to get this. With all these questions, Nas, check this out. Check this out, Nas. You'll enjoy. There you go. What do you mean? Oh, you're that. So you don't even know what you want to trade right now? First live stream, long-time subscriber, Brother Umar. Well, good. Hey, welcome to the live stream. I'm in buys in NQ from 19,904. And where's your stop loss at? Dim drop 6. Got a stop loss? Yeah, I meant like, what do you plan on trading? It sounds like you've never heard of futures before. Is that true, Jada? When I say futures, does that mean anything to you? You've clearly heard of stocks and crypto, but have you heard of futures? Okay, all right. So here's your homework assignment, because you're going to want to day trade futures for a lot of reasons. Namely, no pattern day trading rule. Or do you have... If I could figure out... Let me throw you this class real quick so you can learn about futures. There we go. It is free. Just scroll down to the bottom of that page, because there's class number 1. So here you go. Check out that if you have never heard of futures before. But futures are very good, namely because, well, let me ask you this, Jada. Do you have $25,000? I know it's a personal question, but it's relevant. Ooh, bouncing off nicely off that purple line right there. I'm starting to shift now, thinking back to potentially getting long here. I want to see if it can chop around here a little bit more than I may be. Okay. So the reason I ask is, unless you have $25,000, then you can't be a day trader in the world of stocks and options, because there's something called the pattern day trading rule. But in the world of futures, there's no pattern day trading rule. So, and a day trade meaning you can buy and sell in the same exact day. If you don't have $25,000, then because of the pattern day trading rule, they only let you do that 3 times every 5 days. So yes, you heard that right. You're only able and allowed to buy and sell something in the same day. You're only allowed to do that 3 times every 5 days. But with futures, you can do that as much as you want every single day. Jay Nash, I got trained. But are you doing a prop firm, Jay Nash, or are you using your own money? Maybe you can get a cash account with Robinhood. That's still not the problem because then you have cash settlement rules. Not to mention, you're risking all of your own money in Robinhood. Do you really want to be taking on risk with all your own money? I don't. I have bad days. I make messes. I get caught in crazy moves. I'd rather have one of those moves not have me own every single loss or every single cent that those moves can bring. So a cash account doesn't really solve a whole lot from numerous angles. All right, Dip Dropstick. Nothing but respect. You have mapped out your trade and all that sort of stuff. So nothing but respect. We'll see if it plays out. Even if it doesn't, like I said, respect the fact that you're not armchair quarterbacking. You're not trading in hindsight. You have mapped it all out here for myself and others to check out. So well done to you. Well done to you. Nothing but respect. You got to applaud somebody. You got to respect somebody that's willing to put themselves out there. Always refreshing to see. See if this thing, is this thing really going to come all the way back to that trend line? Maybe. Also have plus 500 thinks that's futures too, right? Also, I don't know what plus 500 is. Is that a platform or something? I'm not quite sure what that would necessarily be. But yeah, I would recommend using a prop firm. And if you see the message that's pinned at the very top of the chat box, that will tell you the prop firm that I'm using that I recommend. And then if you do want to get the promotion, which is 30% off, no activation fee. If you want to get that and support the channel, code Clay. All right, MYM. If you would like to, you asked for it, so I'll shoot you the link and you may do with it. Because basically what you just said is I'm getting overwhelmed. I hear you. Hey, it's all for free on the internet. That's true, but you're also going to be at risk of feeling overwhelmed, getting bad information. So if you want structure, if you want a step-by-step learning process, MYM, there you go. Check out that link. Do with it what you will. Appreciate ya. Can you let me know your strategy? I personally use multi-time frame market structure. I have no idea what that means. Maybe I do something like that too, but I don't have cool names for it. I'm just trading the technical chart, man. I don't know what you want to call it. I'm a scalper. I'm a day trader, but no, I don't have any cool names like multi-time frame market structure. I do use multiple time frames. We do have a bear flag or a bear pennant. I personally don't trust it though because this is occurring in an overall uptrend. But I don't know. Is this the leading indicator? This uptrend's about to roll over some more? What are the two purple lines called? And I only have one purple line. That's the 50-period simple moving average. Pink line is a 200-period moving average. What's their purpose? Well, their purpose can have many purposes depending on somebody's strategy and goals. Did you reset your account yet, Joe Purr? Are these things that you're doing with your current account, or are you just armchair quarterbacking right now? Again, another bounce right off that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. Okay, we'll check it out and support. Yeah, thanks, Jay Nash. But definitely go that route. It'll get you involved in the day trading futures. You'll have very minimal risk because it's going to only require a couple $100 out of your pocket, and then that's all you have at risk. Is this Is this about to roll over here? I could do that. Try to anticipate the break of these lows. I have a tight stop. Yeah, very tight stop actually. All right, I did some research on futures, and it does seem like a good option. However, I'm not in the U.S. stock trading. I'm in crypto, so that might have been... Yeah, no, crypto is still garbage, because Jeddah, you're still using your money in crypto. So if you take like a $5,000 loss because you do something really stupid, that's all $5,000 of your money. In a prop firm, it wouldn't. You would lose the account, which you can always buy back again, but you would not actually lose $5,000, because the way the prop firm's set up, you're not actually using $5,000 of your own money. So crypto, and plus futures just move way better than crypto anyways. I'm being a quarterback throwing touchdowns. Not impressive. Not impressive, Joper. Go reboot your account. I see. Also, the next name isn't from my side, though. I mean, this strategy is all over the internet, probably famous on YouTube, but literally no one shows the profitable way. Yeah, you know why that is? You know why nobody shows a profitable way of using it? Because it is not a strategy. It's just got a cool name that people like to sell as the strategy, but it doesn't actually mean anything. Exactly. And that's why I don't sit here saying that, like, well, I don't really have I'm a scalper, I'm a trader. So what you described there, that's so beautiful. And you're right. Yeah, man, people keep using this like cool lingo, but like nobody actually shows like how do I use this profitably? Exactly. Because no system is perfect. People just like to use cool names to try to sell stuff. Yeah, Joper, you need to reset it and at least do one flip day so you can log a day. So go do a flip day on an MNQ. And then at least tomorrow, you'll already be on day number 2. I want to learn your accent. It sounds fast and strong. I don't have an accent. I speak flawlessly. There's no accent here. None. I'm kidding. That's funny that you think I have an accent. And I'm sure I do from your reference point. But I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. And I'll take it. Sounds fast and strong. That's right. It is fast and strong. I guess I should have taken that short, huh? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Exactly, Joper. Like I said, I'm not saying like if you feel like you're mentally compromised and you don't want to keep trading on the day, then don't trade. But I'd say at least reset it and then do that one flip trade so you can at least get the timer started on those 5 days. Testing. Palm Waytech. Test confirmed, Paul Waytech. Oh, maybe you mean it's back testing here. Maybe that's what that comment's in reference to. Sorry about that. I mean, we do have this line here, but is that the line you buy for a break? I don't know. I don't know. Is this thing just going to keep kind of rolling on over? That's the big test right now. Is this suckering in longs? Is this trying to, get people along, try to anticipate the break, and is this going to roll back over for its next leg down? Do you expect a substantial drawback? I have no idea. Did you click on my link, MYM? Did you even click on that? Come on, man. Joper thinks it's a little fake out. We'll see. Over on the 5 minute. We're just sitting right at the 21 EMA. So right now, a spinning top is trying to form. Am I doing a webinar? No webinar tonight. I got too much going on. Tomorrow, though. Tomorrow. Hello, thank you. Traded Z-Car today. Made some quick dineros. Please don't tell me you're day trading stocks, let alone Z-Car. Like, do you know how dangerous that is? Like, dangerous for your capital. Z-Car is for crazy people. Like, if you day traded Z-Car today, you are you're a reckless trader. Oh, yeah, totally reckless. Crazy. Crazy. Because Z-Car is one of those that can trap you in a halt. It can go down against you. And guess what? That's all your money that's being lost. It's all gone. Well, Clay, but it's moving so quick. Yes, I know. But futures move way quicker, way better. And you can manage your risk a whole lot better, which is what ultimately matters most. Do you care about the ability to manage risk, or do you just care about how much money you can make? But the thing is, even if you just care about how much money you can make, you should still be focused on futures anyways, because futures make all those, like, futures make the Z-Cars of the world look like nothing. But Z-Car moved really big today. I know, and I'm still saying that. And anybody that trades futures, especially NQ, you know exactly what I mean when I say, yeah, but still, futures will make things like that seem like nothing. I don't know. I might be. What would that risk be? 12. Yeah, I'll do that. Buy. So there we go. So I will look to buy if it wants to come down that green line. I might be buying the backside on this pullback. So yeah, as I say that out loud, I may be buying the backside. So let's just take this down to 2, just in case I am buying the backside of this move here. There we go. Now, if I get filled and it goes skyrocketing up, I'm going to be all upset at myself for changing down to 2. But yes, as I talk out loud, I may be buying the backside of them. So let me factor that in here with the position sizing. Drop that down here. Again, I'm not going anything big because, as I've said, and I apologize for you that hang out like the whole time. I know you hear me repeating myself, but I hope you understand that there is always a steady stream of new people getting logged on. But I'm not the greatest afternoon trader. I'm a little bit better in the morning. So and I'm plenty green on the day, but for the live stream's sake, I'll still make some more trades, but I just need to factor that in via the fact, I need to consider that I'm not the greatest afternoon trader via just position size. I want to learn all this stuff so bad. Okay, well, that's awesome. I'll send you this link. You mentioned wanting to learn. If you're looking to learn in a step-by-step fashion, first learn about this, then learn about this, then learn about that, then check out that link right there. Do with it what you will. But that's what I have to offer if you do want to learn about this stuff, but not learn about it in an overwhelming way. Because a lot of people get overwhelmed in a hurry. Palmway Tech, you never replied back. Did you day trade Z-Car today? I would be happy to explain how it was so reckless and how it was an inefficient use of your capital. I'd gladly do that and show you, let Pam's plant shine. Try to convert you from behaving recklessly, day trading stocks such as Z-Car, and come into where things are a little bit more efficient. All right, come on, reject, come back down. Still trying to get filled down there. I don't want to chase. Right now, it seems like buying that breakout is a bit of a chase, but I don't know, 5 minutes from now, hindsight may have me looking like that was the dumbest thing I could have said or thought. But it is what it is. We're approaching the 3-hour mark. We have about 22 minutes. I will take this. I'll keep the party going at the 3-hour mark, but I'd like to get this up to 200 likes. So we have to get 39 likes in about 22 minutes. So if you would like the party to continue, either that or $20 in super chats. So we'll use super chats and likes to gauge if people are still interested. So if you want this to go beyond the 3-hour mark, we have, like I said, 21 minutes to get this up to 200 likes or $20 in super chats. So there we go. Trying to make sure I'm using my time wisely. And if people have lost interest, then fair enough. But I want to make sure that people are, if you're interested and you've still got the like, use it. If not, like I said, $20 total in super chats. I can use that as a way to gauge interest also. So we're going on about 40 minutes. 40 minutes to get, at this point, 20 minutes to get 26 more likes. So we'll see if we can get the job done or not. Still watching that trend line. Right now I have orders out here. looking to buy right there with a stop right there, but in some senses, I could be buying the down or the backside of this overall upwards move. I mean, we've been trending upwards for quite a while now. So I personally would not be totally shocked if this is the backside, but that's why I'm trying to manage my risk via position size with that. So we'll see if it wants to come down some more. Is anybody thinking of buying the break or the trend line break? Or maybe some people think I'm crazy for even wanting to go long. I don't know. We'll see what it wants to do, though. Hey, all right, we're at 177. So I think we got a chance. I'm a little worried that we don't quite make it, because we do have less than 20 minutes. But I suppose we could. I don't know. Maybe a knight in shining armor shows up with a $20 super chat, and then it all becomes irrelevant. But as of right now, it's looking like got to try to do it with the likes. All right, we're knocking on the door. I'm not taking that. But like I said, hindsight can be my judge. Maybe that'll have me looking like the dumbest thing I could have done. But there is the break. Bought for the pullback on the 15 minutes. Well, you got to tell this stuff before it happens, Mom, and not that you already bought. You got to tell us where you bought before it got there. Stop loss is at 105. All right. All right. Well, right now, hindsight has me looking pretty smart that I did not buy that break. But maybe hindsight is just suckering me into make me think that I was smart to have this thing rip right back upwards. But right now, I'm glad I did not buy. I can say that. The stop loss is going to get hit. You don't know that, Joper. Stop talking trash like that. You have no idea if it's going to get hit or not. And even if it does, you full well know that was just you talking hot air. Lalis Semga. Clay, what platform are you using right here? I will share that in a second because it's kind of a two-layered question. I know I could just answer what the platform is, but I think baked within these people asking that question is in which way am I using it. So what I'm doing is I'm using a prop firm. So if you want to use it in the way I am, you would go to the pinned comment at the top or just that link that you see on the top of the page. You would select the purchasing power you want. And then during the checkout phase, they would say, hey, what platform? And what you see here is Tradeovate. But you do not need to go to Tradeovate and separately create an account. The prop firm here, again, the prop firm that I'm using, they will create the account for you. And then they'll send you the login and information. And then you can just go to Tradeovate and log in with that information. So that is the platform I'm using. I'm using Take Profit Trader as my prop firm. And then I'm using, through them, Tradeovate. All right, and I appreciate the link. I make $8 an hour currently, so I'll have to save up for the package, but I'm definitely subscribing. Sounds good, Aaron. Sounds good. Sounds like you got some goals, so just keep on hammering and get those goals done. Well, thank you, Joper. Thank you for admitting that you're just talking hot air. I can respect that. Because you said the stop loss is going to get hit, and now look at this thing all of a sudden coming back up. Sweet, that looks nice. Yeah, make sure you use a prop firm, especially if I would say you should do it regardless, but especially if you have zero experience in futures, use a prop firm. Hello, I'm new. Well, Victor, great to have you. Thank you for swinging by. Thank you for introducing yourself. Do I have the desktop version or web? I use the desktop version. Hey, folks, I'm getting nervous. I'd like to go beyond 3 hours. But we got to get this up to 200 likes, and we are still 22 away, and yet have about 15 minutes. So if you want the party to continue, and you're enjoying, hit that like button. That's how I'm gauging interest. Or if somebody wants to drop the $20 super chat, or we can get, 10 $2 super chats, but I want to make sure people are staying interested. No, that's fine, Dim Dropstick. Go ahead, map out what you're doing, what you are. Nothing but respect there. Just do it beforehand. Because with all due respect, you giving us your trade plan and this, that, and the other after everything's already happened. Again, nobody's saying that you're lying, but it's just not as impressive. But if you can map stuff out before the price gets to those areas, then that's where things become very, very impressive. What pair are you trading today? Victor, I am not trading Forex. This is futures trading. If you are a day trader of Forex, please stop immediately. You're wasting your time. You're being inefficient. You're probably taking on more risk than you should. Not to mention, Forex is like watching paint dry. So the fact that you ask me and think that I'm doing Forex right now makes me think that you're doing Forex. Please just stop. Put down the Forex day trading. Stop wasting your time. Stop watching paint dry. And come do some futures day trading, because futures move a whole lot better than Forex. All right, so that trend line, it's holding up. I'm so glad I didn't buy it, but that's the MNQ, the micro. Yes, correct, Lawless. We are, I'm right now looking at the MNQ chart. That is correct. This trend line, I mean, it's being stubborn. We'll see if it can try to push up through there. I don't know. Now I'm almost wondering, should I be getting in there? Hey, Chris is here. I'm doing a very similar setup, or I'm doing a very similar set top as Euclid. I have a buy set for 112 with 102 stop. If I hit it, I will send a super. All right. So we need Chris's trade to work. We need it to go down to 112. Okay, so we got it. We need it to come down here. And then we don't want it to hit 102. But if it can go down to 102 and then come back up, Chris, he's going to save the stream with a super chat. Because we are still 16 away. We need 16 more likes to do it the old-fashioned way. With likes or kind of the clear sailing way with super chats. But right now it's not looking like it's going to give Chris or I a trade. Because I have a plan down here to buy with my stop, but it keeps rising up right now. So we'll see what it wants to do. But right now, things are looking a little bit shaky. Looking shaky from the, I'm not going to get filled. Looking shaky from, are we going to get enough likes? Okay, what futures? This is the MNQ. Can I enter the market or am I late? I don't know what you mean by that. It almost comes across like you just want to copy trade me, Victor. Is that what you're thinking right now? Hey, should I just copy trade exactly what you're doing? Is that the kind of the, oh my, what time? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and cancel these out because it's looking like that was not the right plan. And now this thing is very, very impressively with the breakout. OP going up. Did you mean up going up? Where was that? But that would have been the same typo going. You should have a copy alert system, Clay. Definitely not. That sounds like a customer service headache. Lalis, would you like a bunch of lazy sheep yelling at you all the time because they don't know how to manage risk, yet you cost them money? No, thank you. That sounds like a nightmare. Not to mention that's got to be illegal, right? Like I'm not. This is for finance. This is just for entertainment purposes, folks. Those are the worst people to deal with customer service-wise, because those people that would sign up for a copy trade alert system by nature are lazy, lazy bums. And lazy, lazy bums are going to complain the most. I cannot imagine the customer service headache on something like that, where you were actively trying to draw in lazy, lazy bums. I want people that are like, I'm ready to work hard. Let's go. I'm ready to think for myself. Let's go. I'm not here to be a sheep. I'm here to be a wolf. That's who I want to deal with. Those people are much easier to deal with. Not looking to try to deal with customer service issues of lazy, blind sheep. Thank you for the thoughts, though. But yeah, that's not quite what I'm looking to do. Okay, maybe we have a chance. We're at 189 likes, so we need 11 more. Or 12 more for the JJ effect. So maybe we have a chance. We got about 10 minutes to get 12 more likes, and that's important because that's how I'm gauging whether or not this should go beyond the 3-hour mark. I'll keep the party going, but I want to make sure that there is interest, so I'm using likes to gauge that interest. Love the stream. Good, Victor. I'm glad you love the stream. Glad you are enjoying. Always good to hear. Is this maybe a short? Could be. Could be. In fact, it's going to be. I want to see it poke its head slightly up above the high of this candle and that yellow line, and then I'm going to try to capture it on the way down. Hey, there's Calvin. Afternoon Clay. Where did your trending start at? Oh, I don't know. Let's all go the way till the closing bell. I would like to see you trade in the final 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. At least I start to mentally check out usually around the 3.5 hour mark. Although I had some close to 4 hour streams. How's your trading going today, Kelvin? TaylorMade, man, we've been struggling to get through this 1 hour. Oh, I don't even know what that is. But whatever that thing is, we've been struggling to get through it. Well, at least if you want to see it continue to go, you do have the power. You could drop the $20 super chat and just like that would compensate for it. But we need 10 more likes. 10 more likes in 9 minutes, and then the party is going to continue beyond the 3 hour mark. But we are at 2 hours and 51 minutes right now. The fact that you said my trade plan isn't impressive. No. I don't think dim prospect. Dim dropstick. I don't think you understood what I was saying. I was just saying, generally speaking, if somebody puts in a trade plan after the fact, well, then that's not that impressive. What I'm saying is, if anybody puts in a trade plan before, then that's super impressive, right? If you're like, I'm going to buy here, my stop is here, my target's here, and here's why, and you do all that before anything happens, that's what I'm saying is very impressive. So yes, that's what I encourage people around here to do. Go for that, map things out before it gets to there. But like coming back and telling us everything you did in the past, it's like, okay, I guess we can trust that's true, but if you like map out everything before it happens, then there's no question. Yeah, hey, it hit that person's entry point. It never hit their stop. It went to their target. Great job. I'm up 1250 on my 5. Hey, thank you, Kelvin. Code Clay, 25K discount. So good entry. Good job, Kelvin. Sounds like you're having a solid day then. Make sure you hit that like button if you have not yet, Kelvin, because the stream's getting close to potentially ending here. Again, we'll see if it can come up to that area. Push up a little bit above it, and then I'll try to capture it on the way back down. I think it's going to be a barn burner. Nine more likes in the next 7 minutes. Again, why is this guy keep calling about likes? Because at this point, I gauge whether or not I want to keep the stream going based on interest. And I base interest on likes and super chats. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is there still enough interest out there to keep this going? If not, and 3 hours has been enough, that's cool. So be it. But if you want to keep it going, then just hit that like button. All right, 3 more. 3 more, because we got to factor in the JJ effect. Looks like we got a chance. Cinco de Mayo. Everyone's hammered. Yeah, hammer the... Hey, all right. Continue on. Ravsan, at the top where your account area is, if you click on that, you'll notice in the drop-down menu, there's something that says group accounts, and then you just click on that. Getting a bit of a pullback here. I may look to buy this pullback. Try to play the back test right around the... All right, let me keep my finger on the buy button here, or the buy bid button. I want to see, try to play a back test off of that breakout point. I see, but even today's buy was a gamble because there is already a red folder. Well, I'm glad it worked out. But yeah, stick around, dim dropstick, and feel free. Map out those trade plans, preferably speaking, before the price ever gets to them. But yeah, I appreciate it. And I do. I try to respond to every chat. I can't always do it. Sometimes I miss them, but I do my best. That's why I find this fun. It's in my mind, it's kind of a bizarre thing that you can interact with people from around the world, like in real time. Like how crazy is a live stream? Like even like, I don't know, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. I don't know how long live streams been around. Probably at least 10 years, but and I'm having fun doing it. So I'll keep on doing it, and I'm trying to grow. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but my goal is to try to get this up to 1,000 concurrent viewers. We hit a record on Friday, got it up to 197. But we hit a new record of likes on Friday. Not looking like we're going to get a concurrent viewer record here, but that's all right. Always buy the first pullback. I mean, I don't know about always. Always is a strong word, but hey, if you have data that suggests that always works for you, then go for it. What do you do in your live stream? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Victor. Could you please clarify? What do I do in my live stream? I'd be happy to answer that, but I think I need a little bit more context, or else I'm just going to start answering stuff and be like, no, that's not what I meant. Fair enough. That's what I'm asking right now. What exactly do you mean by that, my friend? Hey, we're at 206 likes. I like this group. We haven't had even a single... No. We had Tim earlier. That I was somehow stealing people's money doing this live stream on stocks, even though this is not stocks, this is futures. Besides Tim, it's been a clean stream. Yes, I juggle flaming bowling balls. Or flaming bowling pins. Hey, Clay, still... No, good one. So how long were you there, Kyle? Poor Kyle was stuck at the DMV for sounds like hours on Saturday. Which I do as live stream sometimes on Saturdays. Not nearly as long as this one, but I don't mind doing it. I'll do it. Again, still interested in buying a pullback here to that former breakout area. Because right now... Get a little bit of a bull flag. So we'll see if it wants to pull back a little bit more. But just got to be patient. Today's been a lot of patience. I've made, 3 or 4 trades? I guess if we count the one that was a mistake, maybe 5 trades, but I don't know. I haven't been counting. But yes, I did have one trade that caused me to give back all my gains because I forgot to cancel an order, and then all of a sudden I was in. I was like, uh-oh. But to be fair, I did also have a mistake that worked out in my favor. I took NQs. So I actually grew. I made more money on the day because on that one where I made... So my mistake that I made cost me 60. But then my other mistake made me, I want to say like 120 bucks or something. So in all actuality, my mistakes on live stream today have me net green. Am I crazy for wanting to buy? This looks good. Good. Couldn't be the back. Maybe this thing is finally rolling over, but I can have a tight stop. Like I said, still plenty green. I was interested in the back test here, but it just can't and won't so far quite pull back enough to give me that entry point that I'd like. But yeah, if it wants to come back down to that area, just trying to buy a classic back test, but it's hard to buy a back test if it won't back test. That's the current issue that I'm having right now. Hard to buy a back test when the price won't back test. And now we're getting a nice little hammer candle there. So that might have been the move that I should have bought, but that's also hindsight for you. Shoulda, coulda, woulda in hindsight, you know? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. What would that be? 40 down to 30. Yeah, about a 10-point loss or 10-point stop. So 40. Oh yeah, I'll risk 40 bucks. Give or take. See if I can capture some sort of curl back upwards here. Pull back. Well, if it wants to come up to that green line, I am willing to buy. Never mind on that. I want it on that candle. So let's see how this candle goes. If this candle drops down here, then I'll put a buy order, up around its high. I notice you will stick to your plan and not adjust. I have a bad habit of reaching to get... sometimes I adjust. Sometimes I adjust. In fact, I think it was Friday. I had like literally the perfect entry point. And that's why I like the live stream. Because I can say I had the perfect entry point. And then like if you don't believe me, all you got to do is like scroll back on the live stream and see what I was just saying. But I had the perfect entry, but then I adjusted it. I got a little greedy. I was like, no, I want an even better entry. And then I totally missed it because it hit my original plan and then like went way in my favor. But yeah, I do try my best, but yes, now every now and then I will adjust for sure. So I am not perfect in that regard. Okay, I like it. I like it. Come down a little bit more. And then I'd be interested in buying. You know what? I'll buy right there anyways. Okay, I'm in. There we go. That'll be my first profit target up there. And then I'll let one work for me. So very basic premise. Is this some sort of bull flag that means anything? If it's not, well, I'll take my 40, 50 buck loss and move on. So that's what I'm looking to play. Seeing if it wants to not only break, but come up here and fill me. So I could scalp right now, right? Scalping would have me in the green, but this is not a scalp. I'm trying to let this thing work for me. So this will be a decision where maybe I come back and say, Clay, you should have just scalped it because you could have been in the green. What's up with all these emojis? What is going on here? Are you the same person that's using two different names? Like what? Like I don't know. Am I missing something? What's up with the lips? Do I even? Again, from a scalping standpoint, scalpers like myself, like I could be green now. I could pull out some green, but come on, a little bit more. Oh, but we fell in love with each. Okay, now I'm starting to think you may be somebody else who just created their newest name. Uh-oh. There is not, Rob. I'm pretty sure that could be possible, but I have not done that. Well, I'm sticking with the plan. The plan was up there. So we'll see if it can head back up there or not and hit me. But right now, this candle, that action has me a little worried. It made that surge, and it's come back down now. It's an episode of... Yeah, I don't know. I think that one person may be somebody. I'm not going to name names, but... I'm wondering if that certain somebody has now created a new name. Again, got the first profit target up there. See if it can push up there and hit me. Come on. Oh, so close yet oh, so far away. Oh, come on. It hit me, didn't it? All right. Let me put this right now slightly in break even. So there you go. This will be a winning trade now. First profit target hit. In fact, I'm going to move my stop up there now. And I'm just going to follow this up. So if this thing wants to keep exploding, I'm going to keep dragging my stop loss up, but right there. So again, not a question of if I make money on this one, but how much money am I going to make? So I am in the sweet spot of trading right now. Because I don't know. If this thing keeps moving up, I'm going to just keep moving up my stop. So I literally have no idea, right? My only unknown, how much money am I going to make? And as a trader, this is by far the most beautiful spot to be in as a trader. Agent Smith is his name. Exactly. Come on. Let's get a push up to that yellow line. At that yellow line, it'll get a little bit more iffy. But at this point, I think we have a chance to get up to that yellow line. But at this point, I don't care. Like I said, great spot to be in. The only thing I do not know right now is how much money am I going to make. That is the sweet spot of trading. And I'm out. All right, well, got my target hit. My first profit target hit, and then the stop, it just didn't want to totally go. But there we go. Nice little trade there. Took a little bit of patience. But it is what it is. If you enjoyed that, hit that like button. If you appreciate the live trades, showing the trades from beginning to end, the thought process from beginning to end, if you think that if it seems like you're learning stuff, if you're just flat out entertained, anything positive, if you have not hit that like button, make sure you do that. That helps out the channel. It helps you want to keep doing this. Well, did it just come down and hit me and then, oh, well, it happens. Clay, why did you have your stop loss there? Why didn't you have it down here? I mean, fair point. But keep in mind, you're now asking in hindsight. Had the thing crashed, you would not be asking that question. But yes, that one did right up to that yellow line. And you heard me saying it. Again, the power of charts and the power of the live stream. Because there's no hindsight. You heard me say, I think it's got a chance to get that yellow line. And that's exactly where it went. But my stop loss got a little too tight. But I say that because I now have hindsight. Had the thing crashed down, I would not be saying my stop loss was too tight. I'd be saying, man, I'm glad I got tight with my stop loss. But a pretty anticlimactic trade. I thought it made a lot of sense in my defense. I thought it made a lot of sense. And in my defense, I mean, it did work out. So there we go. I'll take it. I'll take it. Now the question just becomes, what is it going to do at this upward trend line here? Profits are kind of. That's a sticky saying. You can't go broke taking a profit. Yeah, yes you can. That's a misleading statement. Can you show me where your trend line started? Sure, right here, Kelvin. I'll show you. Right there. There's where the trend line started, right there. Okay, what moving average is that? I honestly thought I'd be asking that question a lot more. The pink line is a 200 period simple moving average. Dotted yellow line is the VWAP. Purple line is a 50 period simple moving average. Green line there is a 21 EMA. My wife goes, if you're working, why are you laughing so much? Because I'm watching a clown. That's what you tell her. Because I'm watching a clown. Clowns are funny. And then it will make perfect sense. Maybe not. Maybe wait. Why are you watching a clown? It's worth a try, though. It's worth a try. Is that you, Trip? Is that you? You want to come say hi? No, okay. So this here on the 5-minute, this trend line has just, I mean, so many fake breakouts. And you've heard me say it earlier on. It seems today that the play is to just let that trend line break, then get short, because all it is one fake breakout after another fake breakout after another fake breakout. Pretty wild. We were probably hitting the 200 EMA on the one-day chart today. And what makes you think that? Skogs you. What makes you think that we're going to probably hit the 200 EMA on the daily chart? What led you to such a conclusion? So with all that said, I should probably be thinking about maybe a short up around that yellow line. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, and we'll see if it wants to go up there and maybe give me an opportunity to enter in on the short side of things. Real quick, as we wait, as we be patient, if you are interested, I'm offering this free webinar this Thursday. Throw the link in the chat room. So if you're interested in learning about the tools I'm using, how I build consistency, how I manage risk, making sure that you have a good framework and reference point of trading. A lot of people show up and they think they're doing things that are smart, but they're not actually smart. Then yeah, I'm very confident that there will be something here for everybody to benefit from. So yeah, that'll be this Thursday at 8 p.m. So check out the link I just threw in there and go get signed up for it. As we wait for the trend line, I am interested in potentially getting short up around that trend line, but the price has got to get up to that trend line. And we'll see what happens with it. In fact, do we have another rising wedge? Let's see. So we have this. Okay, all right. I can see that. Yeah. I can see that being a rising wedge. Rising wedge being a bearish pattern. Now, just because something's bearish does not mean the price is going to go down, but yeah, I'm not. So what I'm looking for, let me cook. I want to see it bounce up a little bit more. Get up here a little bit more and then break. That way I can have an extra type stop. Seems risky going short in an uptrend. Yeah, that's why I would have a tight stop. It is risky, but it's not a random risk. It's based on a rising wedge pattern, which is bearish. But I mean, worst case scenario, I take a controlled loss, and I know how much the loss would be up front. So if I'm okay with that losing amount, then oh well. Like I said, I put some contingency. The trend is going up. Yeah, it is. It is until it's not. Yeah, trends trend until they don't trend anymore, right? That's why the whole thing is just trade the trend. The trend is your friend. Once again, one of those overly simplified trading strategies, really? So you just find something going up and then you buy? That's it? And then you figured out trading? Here's a hint. No, you haven't. If you think, just trade with the trend. Okay, if you think it's that easy, okay, go ahead. Go find something that you deem is in an uptrend or a downtrend and just go with the trend. So unfortunately, there's more. And again, I'm angry about it. I wish trading were that easy. I wish it was literally like, just find something in an uptrend and then you just buy. But the problem is uptrends don't uptrend forever. The problem is some dips within an uptrend are actually flat out reversals. Sure, you could buy 3 pullbacks that all work, but if you buy the 4th pullback, that's actually a reversal and then you don't manage risk. Well, sorry. It's not, things are not going to turn out very well in your favor. So you got to be careful with the oversimplified, jargon out there. The trend is your friend. Just go with the trend. If only it were that easy. So yes, the trend is going up. Fair enough. But I think that the trend may need to take a breath. If not completely, I'm not going to say crash, but I could be wrong. That's why you got to have a stop loss. But I'm not buying here. Why not? You said the trend is going up. Aren't you going with the trend? You better get long. Get long. If the trend's going up, why aren't you long? The trend's your friend. I'm liking it. Just need a little bit more consolidation. Come on down. See if no, I don't want to take it on this candle. I want it to just chop around a little bit more and then come on down. Let's get this out of here for now. Whoops. In fact, what I should do, I should get an official trend line in there. Oh, wow, it's knocking on that door. What would that stop be? If I'm in at 50, 60, 10-point stop, 40 points. Okay, you already said that message. I said, no, I want it to chop around. I don't want to risk. So stay above the line. If you're like, I'm not waiting for that, Clay, I'm getting it now on the short side, I get it. We'll let hindsight be your judge. Maybe you're making the way wiser decision. But for now, I got to stick with my original plan. I want to see this chop around a little bit more. But if you think like that's a stupid contingency, if you're like, I'm not waiting, I don't think I need to wait for that. Hey, nothing but respect. You're thinking for yourself. We can agree to disagree, and we'll see who's right or who's wrong. And if you're right and I'm wrong, I'll say, well done, good sir, good ma'am. Because nothing but respect for the people that are thinking for themselves. So I can see people here short right now. They're like, no, it broke that line. It broke the rising wedge. But like I said, I want to see a little bit more chopping around, and then I'd be willing to take it. So we'll see if it can come up through there or not. Might have cost me. I concur. Excellent. I like when people concur. I'd say 140 is going to be that key breakdown point. I could take that. What would that be? 140? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do a breakdown or get out. Yeah. I'm going to get short at that red line. Trying to capture this. Is this the rollover here? No, what am I doing? I said yes, I'm talking to myself. I said the plan, Clay, and now you're all of a sudden, you're reworking the plan. Can you go over what the drop down is that you adjusted? This is just what you're purchasing. In futures, it's contracts. So like contracts. Right now, I'm looking to do with 2 contracts. So you can do any of these. It's like options. You're trading futures contracts. But like I said, the nice thing about day trading futures, unlike options, is there's no theta. So there is no theta in these. But I've gotten short there. I missed. I think it popped down. That's the one I canceled. And I was like, no. I'm glad I did that because boop, back up it went. Good real-time example of me trying to mold and maneuver my trade plan in real time. But that was not the plan. It did not meet the criteria. It did not hit my contingencies. Therefore, and there we go. So if you did take it short here, I'm not saying, I know, to be fair to those people, maybe they did scalp out. That's always a possibility, but as of right now, I'm feeling pretty happy that I didn't. That 5-minute trend line, it's still just, I guess I can bring it over. Still just bumping its head. It's crazy. Trump is talking. Okay. Well, if Trump's talking, then who knows what could happen. Where have you been all day, Force Fed? You're just showing up now? What kind of poor life decisions have you been making? All right, approaching that upward trend line. But if Trump, can somebody confirm, is Trump talking right now? Do we have confirmation that Trump is talking right now? If so, kind of trade at your own risk. Yes. Okay, we have one person confirming the initial claim, which right off that trend line. You can't make this stuff up. Are you kidding me? I love charts. Look at that. Again, this is why I love the live stream. I didn't come here like a textbook would and like draw some trend line. So like it meant, no, you saw that trend line sitting there. Again, I'm not saying any of this to brag on myself. I am saying it to brag about charts though. Our charts are a perfect tool. They're not perfect tool, but I would argue they're a very worthwhile tool to learn. Amazing. What are you smoking? Question mark. Meat. When I don't know if the mic picked it up, but when I asked, what are you smoking? Meat. I just made a sell on Euro. Why are you trading crypto, dude? Or why are you trading Forex, Dim Dropsic? Why are you doing that? You need to trade futures, man. Forex is garbage. Forex is pure and utter garbage. And I can mathematically prove that to you. Why? Why do people even think about day trading Forex? Can somebody explain that to me? What is the draw to trade day trading Forex? What draws people to that? So I suppose if you are here and you are a day trader of Forex, why? Why do you choose Forex? Fill me in. Fill me in. I am confused. Because Forex barely moves. Forex is just it just doesn't move. That's why you have to use massive amounts of leverage, and then those massive amounts of leverage are a great way to roast your account. Yeah, and then the prop firm world of Forex, it's like, yeah, very scammy, very sketchy. But at the end of the day, Forex, it just doesn't move. Now, if there's like worldwide drama, sure, Forex once a decade will move around. But like on a consistent basis, Forex is just so boring. I do Forex and stocks both, bro. I don't see anything wrong with it. No, there's a lot wrong with it. You're wasting your time and wasting your capital, and you're working very inefficiently. There's a ton wrong with day trading stocks and Forex. Day trading. Why risk so much capital? Like if something goes really wrong, that's all your money gone. Even if you're like not on tilt, even if you're not FOMOing or revenge trading, and even if you're behaving wisely, crazy moves do happen. And to be involved in a crazy move going against you when it's all your capital, no thanks. That's crazy. There's a whole lot wrong with it. You need to learn about Pam's plant. Pam's plant. That is the solution. Although Dim Dropsic, I don't. What country are you in? You were like speaking Aramaic, however you say that earlier. So I don't even know what country you're in. So maybe Pam's plan is not available to you, to be fair. But yeah, Ethan, Forex is you're risking your own money. It moves very slow. I see where you're coming from. Stocks are all about all-time highs. They keep rising. No, that's not where I'm coming from. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm saying if you take a $5,000 loss on stocks because you just went on tilt or had a bad day or got stuck in a bad move, that's $5,000 coming out of your pocket. That's what I'm saying. That's not so if you were to do Pam's plant. Well, I'm glad I didn't short that yellow line there because that actually looks like a legitimate breakout here. Finally, on the 5-minute, getting some push through that upward trend line. It took a while, but mission accomplished. Did actually push up through there. I scalp. Okay, so that's what I mean, Bart. Like, good job, Bart. But had you mapped out beforehand that you were planning on buying at 140.48 with a target of 168, that would have been way more impressive. So, Bart, good job on the trade. But that's sort of like what I'm getting at here. Again, well, I believe you. I believe that happened. But hopefully you can understand where it's like, okay, I guess. But it's when you say that when everything's already happened. But good job. Next time I'd say, if you don't mind, try to tell us beforehand that you're looking to buy at 148 with a target of 168, and then also let us know where your stop is at. And then you tell us all that before it happens. Boom. Max credibility. See if it wants to keep on grinding. I think this trend line has served its purpose for now. Do I use volume profile? A little bit. Not a whole lot, though. I mean, obviously, I'm not using it right now. Sometimes it's on the chart, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it. But if you were to say that you do use it, yeah, that makes sense to me. I wouldn't say like you're being ridiculous or anything like that. Nice back test and go. So what I was saying earlier about the person that makes the 5,000 or has a crazy move. So what I advocate here is called Pam's Plant, which is an argument to day trade futures through a prop firm. And one of the nice things is the added risk control. And this is what that dim dropstick guy was not understanding. Added risk control in the sense of you protect your own money. How so? Well, if you are using your own money and you go and get in some sort of crazy trade and something crazy happens, and let's just say, oops, move this down here. Let's just say you lose $2,000. Well, that would be $2,000 out of your pocket. Now, if you were in a prop firm, yes, they would take the account away from you because you violated how much you're allowed to lose. But did you actually lose $2,000 out of your pocket? No, you would have only lost the cost of the account, which was $119. So it's really just a question of two scenarios. You have the same thing, crazy move happens. And then you have, well, did the crazy move happen with you using your own capital? If so, well, then that's all $2,000 of your money gone. But if crazy thing happened, so same exact crazy move, but you were within the context of a prop firm, your only loss is the cost of the account at $119. So I'm only going to speak for myself, but if there's one of those, oh, whoa, that was crazy, I'd rather have one of those, oh, whoa, that was crazy, only cost me $119 as opposed to $2,000. So that right there is the power of the prop firm and specifically how your risk is insulated. Trump warns purchases of Iranian oil. All right, whoops. Let me bring back up the Clay. Sorry to be repetitive, but can you show how to go from test? Yeah, the main thing. So Rob, for you, you just need one step at a time. So in order to go from the test phase into the pro, so in other words, how do you pass that test? Well, it depends on your purchase size. So if you get the $100,000 purchasing power, then right there, the test is you've got to be able to make $6,000, not allowed to lose $3,000. And this is all happening in a simulated environment. So no, I understand if you're saying, how can they collect $230 and then let you lose $3,000 of their money? How is that a sustainable business model? Very good observation and good question. But again, this is all happening in a simulated environment. So during the test phase, during the job interview, as somebody said, you're only, you're not actually losing $3,000 of anybody's money. Same is true here. You're not actually making $6,000. So it's not like you make $6,000 and then you don't get to keep any of it. Well, it's just the test phase. There is no money actually being made. But once you do move from the test into the pro phase, then the pro phase, once you start to make money in that account, and again, you get into that account by passing the test, showing you can make $6,000. But again, they want you to manage risk. Not allowed to lose $3,000. So that's how you would make that jump. Big rising wedge since open, looking for it to fill the gap of 119. Yeah, it is. It's a weird, just kind of a slow and steady rising wedge today. I'm going to start an account on there with your code, of course. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, that is. And Rob, just so you know, you're probably going to blow up that first account, but blown accounts are part of it. All the great traders part of the community that make a whole lot of money, they all blow accounts. But the key is when you blow an account, it's very, very minimal risk. Your risk is quite literally just what you paid. And the other nice thing is, Rob, if you were to get this one, for example, so you blow it, if you want to try again, get the account back, now the reset fee is only $100. So you only pay that, and then if you want to reset it, $100. So now your risk is no longer even $231, it's just $100. So I mean, that's where, people are, that bless his heart, I think he's gone now anyways, but the dim dropstick was like, oh, I see where you're coming from. And then he lists all these things. It's like, no, that has nothing to do with it. What has to do with it is right here, the added risk control, specifically how you protect your own money by just not even having your own money at risk. Your only money at risk is the cost of the account, because if you violate the rules and they take the account away from you, then yeah, you're only out what you bought the account for in the first place. They sell tests, and when someone are profitable over time, they send them to a real funded 30% pass test, 4% of that receive votes. Skosu, you're just making up those numbers, but yeah, broadly speaking, eventually you'll be in the real market, and but money you can make, you can keep. Nothing like somebody showing up and just randomly making up numbers, but that's fine. That's fine. The general idea is true. Hey, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. We've been stuck in the 220s for a while, but I have learned that I need to remind people. So if you are here with a like and you're enjoying, you're entertained, seems like you're learning stuff, please hit that like button. It's a great way to kind of communicate that to me, and it's just very helpful from a data standpoint. All right, now people are just random. Okay, now Google says, okay. Yes, we all know trading is hard. Trading is hard. None of this is a magic pill. Prop firms just give you more time, more opportunity to learn things, because instead of if you're using your own money and you do something dumb, the dumb thing could very realistically cost you thousands of dollars out of your pocket. But in the prop firm world, yes, it will cost you your account, but it will, out of your own wallet, only cost you the cost of that account. Do you mind if I call out trades, bro? No, that's fine. Just do it ahead of time. That's all. The prop firm that I think is best is one I'm recommending. Take Profit Trader. Very clean rules. Not going to be confusing to people. And they have a great payment policy. You can request money whenever you want in any amount. Okay, fine. These people, they don't know that either. People are just, my point is, the stats are just what people throw out there. That's all I'm saying. But yes, if you're not aware, trading is hard. You will do dumb things. You will get punched in the face. It's really just a question of how much you want the punch in the face to cost you. With a prop firm, you can mitigate, you can lower the quote-unquote cost of punch by a whole lot. So prop firms do not guarantee you'll find success, but they do lower the cost of punch, the cost of baseball bat to teeth. And the more of those you can absorb, the longer you can stay in the game, and the longer you can stay in the game, the more opportunity you have to, find your groove and get something figured out. Exactly. Hey, I like that analogy. Do you want to get punched by Mike Tyson or Grandma? Well said. Are there any downsides to prop firms? I would say the biggest downside would be once you start making money. So on the Pro, you get to keep 80%. On the Pro Plus, you get to keep 90%. So you don't get to keep all your gains. So that is something that's a downside. And I've had people say, well, I'm going to use my own money. That way I get to keep 100% of my gains. It's like, yeah, but do you know what else you get to keep 100% of? Your losses, your mistakes. Those days where you go on tilt, you lose your mind, you revenge trade, you FOMO, you force trades, or those days where you just get stuck in a crazy move. Yeah, you also get to keep 100% of those bad days. So for me, the downside risk protection far outweighs the fact that, okay, well, I don't get to keep all of my gains. But yes, technically, if there was one downside, it would be you don't get to keep 100% of your gains. But I much prefer having 100% downside, right? If I go on tilt, lose my mind, I'd rather only have a couple $100 at risk as opposed to, the potential 3,000 or more that you could lose if you were using your own money. Clay, once you pass the test, can you ask for payouts every day? Yes, if you use the prop firm that I'm recommending. Other prop firms, no, you're not able to ask for payouts every day. Not to mention, so if you make $5,000, some prop firms does not make them a scam, but they'll say, well, no, you made $5,000, but you cannot request that money until 10 days from now. And even 10 days from now, you're only able to request $2,000 of the $5,000. Whereas with Take Profit Trader, you can request that money whenever you want and in whatever amount you want. So that's why I always give the advantage, and that's why I, recommend, especially for the beginner prop firm trader, start with Take Profit Trader, clean set of rules, very direct, fantastic payment process, and then once you get experience, you get a little battle hardened with prop firm trading, then yeah, there are other prop firms out there that are going to have more rules and stuff like that. But one step at a time. And I'm sorry, I'm getting hit with a bunch of as someone that just bought the 50K account. The difference in day trading options and futures with a prop firm is that with the prop firm, I find myself taking more chances, not real money. Yeah. So what do you think, Chandler? How are your thoughts about day trading futures compared to how futures move compared to options? How long do payouts usually take? With Take Profit Trader, very quick, very quick. Only thing I dislike about prop firms are the often very strict drawdowns and consistency rules. I do agree, but at the same time, I would also say that's an argument for Pam's plant. Another way that they have added risk control, they have rules, and you know what those rules are going to force you to do? Focus on risk management. Focus on risk control. Not the most important, not the most entertaining things to focus on, but the things that actually matter. I get it. Everybody wants to talk about how much money you can make and all that stuff, and that's great. But at the end of the day, what's going to keep you alive as a trader, what's going to give you success as a trader is your ability to manage risk. And those rules are going to force you to manage risk. So yeah, well, this isn't fun. I can't behave any way you want. Well, you can go do that if you want with your own money. You're going to lose all your money very quickly. But yes, if you want to have rules imposed upon you, which I argue are good rules because these rules they force you to focus on risk control, and risk control is the key to success as a trader, then yes, those rules that a lot of people complain about, they're a good thing. They're forcing you to manage risk. Now, do some prop firms have, in my opinion, probably way too many rules? Yeah, I could see that being a valid argument. But will I Take Profit Trader, for example, their rules are not unreasonable at all. But they will still get you to focus on what matters most, and that is risk management. How long do payouts? I already answered that. Only thing okay. What is the buffer requirement in pro accounts? Just whatever your drawdown is. And then after you get above your drawdown, then you can build buffer, whatever you want. Can you cancel the monthly payment if I stop trading? Yep. Almost every trader would trade better if they had a boss. Prop firms are, I like that analogy. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah, prop firms are kind of like a boss. They are saying, hey, these are the rules, but I argue they are good rules because, again, they force you to focus on risk management, on controlling risk, on considering position size, on, hey, does my risk actually make sense here? Those are all good things. I'll admit, it's annoying. As a trader, I wish I could just show up and just act like a degen and do whatever I want. And again, to be fair, you can do that. But I'm also here to tell you, you're not going to have an account very long before all your money is gone. But when you show up, you're like, okay, I'd like to go kind of do that. But if I do that, I'm going to violate that rule. So that's probably not smart because I don't want to violate that rule. But in other words, hey, manage risk. Hey, focus on risk control. Those are all good things. And that is why I argue Pam's plant, again, is undefeated. There's just so many good things going on with it. And if you do want to get started with it and you want to support the channel and use the prop firm that I'm using and recommend, like I said, you can check out the link at the top of your screen there. If you go to the pinned comment in the chat box, use code CLAY. That will, like I said, give you the current discount, which is 30% off. And this is also the nice thing to keep in mind about the current deal and why it's actually such a good deal is, yes, phase one, if you use code CLAY, is 30% off. But the other thing that's kind of not really considered right away is all prop firms do this. They call it different things. But whenever you go from the test into the pro, to make that jump, they have something that's called an activation fee. And with Take Profit Trader, the activation fee, again, after you pass to quote-unquote activate your pro is $130. But if you use code CLAY, then the current promotion is not only that 30% off, but this goes to zero. So in other words, there's no activation fee. So you could be all in. Your all-in risk could simply just be the cost of the account, whatever the account purchasing power is. So at the one stream, you could be all in for 105. And if you go on a run, you pass, and you make, let's say even you just get $1,000 in payouts before you go and you violate the rule. You lose more than $1,500 in your pro account. Well, you just invested $105 to make $1,000. Not too bad of a return on investment. Is a maximum loss amount monthly, or is that for the life of the account? It's on a daily basis. So daily, because it trails you. So just basically, for example's sake, Carol, it's basically the life of the account. You can only lose the $2,000. Now, if you start to make money in your pro account, you can start to build buffer, meaning all of a sudden, maybe now you can lose up to 4,500. But that's a great discussion because some people are like, no, just pay yourself. Don't worry about building buffer. Just leave the buffer always at 2,000, for example. But as soon as you start to make money, then just take that money and pay yourself. But I'll be like, no, leave some money in. So instead of now the rule being 2,000, maybe now it's 3,000. Then you make some more money, you leave money in. Now all of a sudden it's 5,000. So, but that's like I said, you have a bunch of rules of thought on that. What is copy trade? Yeah, so copy trading, the crazy thing with prop firms is, and that's part of Pam's plant, the nuclear explosion growth. They can copy trade. So on Take Profit Trader, you can get up to 5 accounts at once. So 5 accounts at once, and then you can copy trade. Meaning on one account, let's just say you make $1,000, but you copy that same exact trade to your 4 other accounts. Well, now you just made that one. You only made it one time for $1,000, but you copied it. So technically now you made that one trade 5 times for $1,000. So you made one trade for $1,000, but you're walking away with $5,000 total. So you can explode and get growth very, very quickly. Of course, that is a two-sided coin because if you start to do dumb things and you start to behave very badly, well, now instead of just behaving badly in one trade, you're copying those bad decisions to 4 other trades. So there is a give and take with that. But yeah, copy trading can truly set up some very, very explosive growth situations within the prop firm world. No doubt about that. Clay, so if you get a 50K account and you pass the test and make 1,000, for example, to keep 80% in another account? Yes. So cool, that's great. I'm not 750K. I'm not quite sure what that was in regards to, but good questions nonetheless. And I will say this: everybody that's been on the live stream, mainly that it's all day traders options, but so far I'm at 100%. Everybody that has day traded something other than futures, they've come back and they're like, wow, I'm never going back to what I used to trade. I used to day trade options, or I used to day trade stocks, but I tried futures. And you're right, Clay. Pam's plant, futures, they move awesome. And then this whole prop firm thing, man, that makes it very convenient. I love knowing that I only have a couple $100 at most at risk, as opposed to potentially thousands and thousands of dollars if something go really crazy. So it's a very, like I said, I'm batting 100%. If you just go and try Pam's plant, I'm at 100%. Not a single person has been like, no, I'm going to go back to day trade. No, everybody's like, whoa, futures are great. I love futures. So it's a legit thing. Again, if you are interested this Thursday, I am doing a free live webinar. I'll put the link here. So if you want to learn more about the tools I'm using, how I'm building consistency, managing risk, check out that link that I just put. Go get signed up for it. And yeah, it'll be a good time. So check it out at that link. And then again, if you do want to check out my private community, I do offer a private trading community. Great group of traders. So if you're looking to network with some truly, really good traders, you can check out that link right there. And then again, if you do want to do Pam's plant, get started with the prop firm that I am using and recommending, check out that link right there. And then use code Clay. Code Clay will give you the deal. Again, 30% off and then $0 activation fee. And yeah, it's a way to help support the channel. So, but I am mentally dead, so I'm going to go ahead and call it good. If you have not yet hit the like button, how hard is it to transition from stocks to futures? I don't think about. Okay, Carol, good question. So, Carol, let me ask you this. Do you use, to trade stocks, do you use charts? So right now, within your stock trading, how do you make your decisions? Are you using charts to make your decisions? Because that's a very valid thing as well. I don't know anything about futures. So I have to go learn all about futures now. I don't want to do that. It's not that bad. I'm telling you. It's super, super smooth. But I want to walk through. So I'm asking you the same question as Carol. So to you, Carol, well, whatever you're day trading right now, are you using charts to do so? Absolutely. Analysis. Okay, Carol, what is one of your favorite patterns in the world of stocks with technical analysis? What's one of your favorite patterns? Again, same question, all of you that are maybe in Carol's stats. Okay, that sounds great, Clay, but I don't know anything about futures. I got to go and learn about futures. I'm going to teach you all you need to know. I'm going to teach you the basic math, and then order flow and DOM is better on futures. Yeah, some people really enjoy using the depth of market. So again, waiting for Carol's answer. What's like one of your favorite patterns within the world of charts on stocks? Yeah, have a good one, Jared. Again, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Oh boy. Oh boy. Pressure's on Carol. Dude, TNXP is garbage. We talked about that on Saturday. You have put so much trust in a company that has reverse split so many times. You're going to get slaughtered. I hope you take some profits up along the way. Okay, Carol likes double tops, double bottoms, hammers. Well, I have great news for you, Carol. All those things totally exist in futures. So right there, the biggest difference for you, 97% would be instead of using charts to trade double tops, double bottoms, and hammers on stocks, you're now using charts to trade double bottoms, double tops, and hammers on futures. So that's 97% of it. The 3% would be how do futures, how do they add up in gains and such. So real quick, I'm going to give you the lesson. So from this distance up to here, if you look at these numbers, that is a difference of 10. Hope you can see that. From 145 up to 155, that is a difference of 10. Okay, well, 10 what? In futures, these are known as points. So that is a difference of 10 points. Now all you need to know is some basic math. How much is 1 point worth? Well, if you were to start off on NQ, for example, 1 NQ, so 1 point on the NQ equals $20. Okay? So the question becomes, and here's a test in futures, how much is this distance worth? If this distance is 10 points and 1 point is worth $20, how much is this distance worth? Can you answer that, Carol? Carol mainly relies on indicators like EMA. Oh, there you go. All those indicators exist in futures, and you can use all those indicators. Same question to any of you that maybe have never done futures before. The same question to you. This distance here is 10 points. 1 point is worth $20. So how much is this distance worth if you had one contract? There you go, Carol. Boom. $200. You now officially understand how to trade futures. There you go. Now that is also per contract. So if it's $200 per contract, Carol, and let's just say you own 3 contracts, how much is this distance now worth to finish up the quiz? Again, the number you just gave me of 200, that's per contract. So let's just say you had 3 contracts. So now how much was that distance worth? If it's $200 per contract and you had 3 contracts, how much is that distance worth? Again, same question. We're learning futures right here. 6. There you go, Carol. You're good. You got it. You can trade futures because you already have 97% of it down. 97% being, well, technical charts, because all charts are measuring are movements of price. So whether it's a bull flag on a stock or a bull flag on a future, they're still both bull flags. This is the only difference. If you understand this math, which you just crushed because it's not that hard, there you go. You don't have to learn anything about futures. I would say, Carol, start off on MNQ and then move to the NQ. NQ, like I said, 1 point is worth $20. On the MNQ, M standing for micro, 1 point equals $2. So the NQ, same exact pattern, same exact movement. They're both the NQ. It's just the M means 1 point is only worth $2 as opposed to 20. So in other words, the MNQ is going to be less volatile. What charting tools are used in futures? The same charting tools that you would use in stocks. If you like to use Fibonacci charting tools in stocks, you can use Fibonacci charting tools in futures. So there you go. There you go. It is a false premise to think, okay, let me take a step back. If you already understand how to use charts, then it's a false premise to say, I got to learn so much about futures. Nope. I just demonstrated what you would have to learn in futures. Got to learn about how many points or, what is a point worth? That's all you have to figure out. What is a point worth? All right, Carol, you're welcome. And hopefully, if you decide to get with it, then Code Clay will give you the deal and will help support the channel. Kenroy, you see your premise is like I need to use certain. What did you say? Oh, you mean platform? Yeah. So what I do is the way it works is this: take profit trader, figure out what purchasing power you want during the checkout phase. They're going to ask you right here, your platform, your choice. What you're witnessing here, I am using Tradeovate. You don't have to go to Tradeovate site separately and create an account. They will create the account for you. They'll send you the username and password, and then you log right into Tradeovate through the information that Take Profit Trader has created for you, and then you are good to go. But I am mentally roasted. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. If you have not yet hit the like button and you enjoyed, please hit that like button. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. But amazing, up over 200 likes again. I love it. Great group here today. Fantastic. And yeah, get out there. And if you're a day trader, you better start with Pam's plan. But everybody take care, and I'll see you back tomorrow.